Hello and welcome to the final video for our collaborative build stream, where Klein and myself, along with several other wonderful people, worked together to build a city, which we've decided to name the Crossroads. In this video, we're going to be doing a show and tell of all of the zones and creative ideas that people have built during this series. We'll take a look at all the zones, look for any secrets that people have put into their builds, and at the end of the video, we'll show you the new map, the Mountain Fort, that we'll be using for the next collaborative build. Before we get into the video, I want to apologize as I have been dealing with some sound issues. As such, there was somewhat of an echo effect happening on my microphone. Hopefully I will have this issue resolved soon. Hope you enjoy the video! Hello everyone and welcome to Totally Online Gaming Group's Twitch channel. We're glad you could join us for another one of my collaborative build streams with Klein and F. And
hello.
I'm testing my sound right now, so give me a second. Still sounds like a little bit of echo, but it's not horrible. Alright. Hopefully it will be sufficient for people to enjoy. Anyway, so here we are, and one thing I was definitely missing, and I need to get this out of the way here so I can do this, is gotta have some music. So let's deal with that real quick. And there we go. And then
if you manage a team, you should be using Monday.com. It's a platform to manage
skippable
any
ad. There we go. And then drop that volume down so that it's not blaring in my ears too much. Alright. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay and that the music isn't too loud. So let's just make sure everything's good on these. Yep, that should be good there. Microphone one should be good here. Applications should be good here. And communication should be good there. Okay. So we should be good there. Alright. Okay. So, I hope everyone's having a good day today, and I hope you're ready for this because looks like Klein popped out for a little bit here. He's not in.
Working on the other map.
He's on the other map, setting that up right now. But
well, technically the copy of this map, just trying to lock it off.
Yep. Yeah, we're
trying
to get
everything you can see.
Yep, we're trying to get this one. Or I should say a copy of it, all chopped up as necessary into small enough bits and bytes that Talespire will actually copy it over into Tales Bazaar and Tales Tavern. Because right now it doesn't copy more than, I think it's 30 kilobytes of code. And so far, every time I've tried to chop it up, it's been in the 40s, and I'll resize and take out a good chunk of it, and it's still in the 40s, just a little lower. So something that trying to work on so we can get this out there and available for anyone who actually is interested in taking this map and rebuilding it in their own copy of Talespire. All right, so this episode of the collaborative build stream is just a show and tell with a little bit of a reveal on the end, as we'll show you the brand new map, the winner of the voting, and see what we're gonna do for the next collaborative build stream. So you guys will get a kind of a sneak peek as to what that next thing is gonna be. And hopefully it'll get your creative juices flowing, get you excited, and want to come and join us on that next creative build stream. Alright, so here we go. I think we'll start from this northwest corner of the city. As you can see, kind of with the overall look, we've got everything filled out now. That happened at the last stream. And yeah, I'm going to need the build tools on just for the cutaway aspect, but other than that, I'm not going to really be building anything right now. But we can see we've got, all the way around the interior edges of the wall that surrounds this town. There are houses going all the way around, with the exception of over by the slums, because no one really wanted to build any houses over in that area around there. Because these are all kind of a little bit nicer houses. So let's go ahead and start with up here in this northwest corner, and we're going to take a look at all of the different things that got built, the different zones, so that we can get a good look to see, hey, some ideas. Hopefully those of you who have Talespire, have the beta of Talespire, will get some ideas maybe for your own maps, your own creativity, your own things that you're going to do, and you'll see things that, hey, I didn't know you could do that. So we're going to try to explore that, and I'm going to try my best to find all of the little secrets that have been put in here, because there are quite a few. I put in several myself, which those I won't have a problem finding. But Klein's also put some in, and he may have to help me find some of them. And then, like when Cedric is in here, and Danelle.
I don't know what he's talking about with secrets. I've never put any secrets in anywhere.
Oh, never, not at all. Thank you, Zanatsu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it looks pretty great. Here, I'll give you one more overall view of the city as it is now completed. Okay. And before we go into the individual show and tell and the secrets and all that kind of stuff, we'll give you kind of an idea of the overall zones. Like, right over here in the southwest corner, this is kind of the lower income area of the town. You've got several slums all through here. There are some houses that are being built, some a little bit, more towards middle class, but kind of like the low end middle class. Very small structures over here. Over here, these are set up more like apartment buildings. You also have some larger homes here, but again, they're kind of a little bit separated from most of the slums. Not this burnt out warehouse type one, but a little bit more separated. And they're still not high end, they're kind of average middle of the road. But then we've got some shops there, and there is a little bit of separation between things there. You also have the church because, well, the church, they want to look after the poor, so they're going to be over in kind of the poor overall section of the city. And then you finally have some nicer middle class homes, but notice these ones are like a gated community. So even though they're next to some more, apartment style, less elevated in stature homes, and these lower homes in the slums areas, they're still, kept out of the way, because that's kind of like some prime real estate right near the one of the main entrances to the city, right through here, because it's right across from like the main market area and some stuff here, which in this side, the southeast section, we have some businesses as well as entertainment and things like that, where we've got our market area over there, some like guild hall areas here, some nice homes near the edges, a tannery here, over here a stable, a warehouse, some other nicer, more middle class homes, and then right here an arena, so for some entertainment. Up in the northeast section, this is kind of where all like the nobles and the governmental structures of the city are. Okay, and then over in the northwest, this is kind of, we've got some higher end middle class homes, as well as nice stables over here. We have the Arcane Academy right here, the Center for Education. and then, you know, library and museum and stuff. And we're going to take a look at all these things. So that's kind of like the overall view of the city. You know, hope you guys kind of enjoy that. But now we're going to take our in-depth look here. And we are going to start... I'm actually going to start with some of these buildings that go around the edge. They're very much cut and paste on the majority of it. So I'm just going to show, you know, a couple of those. Just so you guys can get an idea of what they look like. Really, it's just, you know, kind of just two different roof designs or tile choices. But other than that, they're very much the same kind of setup. So, oop. There we go. That's the one we want. So we'll zoom like this, and we'll start cutting away. Alright, so now you can see in these homes here, they're very simple. You know, it's just a one-room home that's got a door leading into it. Typically a fireplace, you know, for a kitchen kind of area, somewhere to sit down to eat, and a bed. And that's what most of these homes going around the edge are. You also have, and you'll have to pardon sometimes where this map is quite large, and so sometimes the WASD and the arrow keys and stuff like that don't really want to play nice because the map's kind of, you know, giving it a hard time because it's a very large map. But you can see here, this is basically the same kind of thing. Interior has been rearranged a little bit, decorated slightly differently, but for the most part, these homes going around the edge are all just very simple, you know, one-room homes. So that's about it for those. Now, however, let's take a look right here. Let's zoom out just a little bit. At this nice high-end stables. So this was put together, and of course, yep, the keys aren't working. Tab's deciding not to work right now. But this was put together by Klein. And as you can see right here, it's all fenced off nicely. And there we go. Now tab's working again. So you can see Klein. This is one of the things we did just to kind of help identify who built what, so they can get credit for what they did. But this was Klein's nice, wonderful masterpiece of a high-end stable, where he's got.
Call it a masterpiece.
Hey, I like it.
Masterpiece. Like it. That's a bitch.
Well, there wasn't any sarcasm there. Alright, I'm just messing with you. But right here, so we've got these stables, and as we peel back the top layer, you can see in the upper section here, they've got all these hay bales for, you know, storing hay and everything for the horses. So, you know, it's quite a bit of storage up there. As it cuts away even further, go down a little further, down to the first floor, we can see a couple things. We see this is, you know, really nice stables where they even have kind of their own little office for people to, you know, come in, register that they're keeping their horse here, pay the, you know, whatever the fees are for keeping their horse there or for having their horse taken care of for them. You know, so this is kind of like the really high end, so, you know, like nobles that have horses and stuff. They're not necessarily going to keep them, you know, right near their homes. They're keeping them in these high end stables. And as we look at the stables themselves, he's separated them out using the fence pieces for most of the stalls along here. But then he's got like the really nice stalls over here on this the western edge of it. I'm kind of turned so it looks like it's north, but the western edge of the stables. And then he's got additional storage here, boxes and crates and things. So this is where like the, you know, really high-end horses get to stay in there. And, you know, most of the others, they stay in those. And then there's a little bit of space in the yard, you know, maybe to get them a little bit of exercise, walk them around a little bit. That kind of stuff. So now the question is, are there any secrets in here, Klein, that I should be aware of and showing to the viewing public?
And that stables, no. Actually, I don't think in either stables there are any secrets.
Okay. So that one's pretty easy. All right, so let's move on. We're just going to go a little bit to the east here, and we're going to check out the blacksmiths. Okay. Now, the blacksmith, he's got this giant 2-story home / store or shop. He also, of course, has to have his smithing workspace, which is a little bit more of an outdoor kind of open air workspace because of all the heat and stuff. And you know, if we did have glass, like Janelle wanted to do with the library, which we'll see that in a little bit, then these would basically be glass skylights to allow, you know, the sun to come through, but not allow rain to get on all his stuff. But this is, you know, the top of all of that. And I've done some landscaping around it. Most of the places that have been built were landscaped, you know, very nicely, kind of individual styles. And this is actually one that I built. You can see right there, I've got a mini sitting in there that I named. So this is one that I made. And as we peel back the layers for the upper story of the home / store, here we've got this wonderful sitting area near a fire. And you know, I'm going to turn on the build light. That's going to help everyone see things better. But this wonderful sitting area next to a fireplace, just kind of hanging out for the family. You've got the master bedroom over here with a nice double bed with a headboard. And then you've got the kids' rooms sitting over here where they share a room. And then as we cut away down to the first floor, going down here, now we can see he's got this nice big shop here where all of the different stuff that he builds, like we've got armor stands, you know, for the armor that's on display. You know, I never put any weapon racks in there. You know, maybe I'll do that before we cut everything away and put it on Tales Bazaar and Tales Tavern.
I'm doing that now, so...
never mind then.
Just
you can put in your own.
You can still do it. You can still do it. Just, when you do it,
do it after the stream.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. But also, you can always populate these with your own things. Take out what you don't like, put in what you like. But that's his shop. And then over here, he actually has, and I'm going to cut away just a hair more so you can actually see it a little better. But down here, you know, he's got a bunch of storage for stuff on this end. He's got the stairs leading up to that second floor. Got a kitchen with a nice big fireplace. This is a design I came up with. I like it a lot. And then, you know, table and prep area for food. And he's got a nice double door here leading out to his workspace from the shop. He's also got a door leading out from the house section to the shop for himself. Which, out here, he's got his forge, he's got his anvil, you know, quenching water, work tables, more supplies and everything. He's got everything he needs in order to do his job. And there's really no secrets in this one either. I think I left that one without secrets. Next, moving a little bit more to the east, here we have a more high-end middle class, so like upper middle class set of homes. We've got 5 homes in here. A little bit different design than most of the other stuff that I built in this city when it comes to like homes and general housing. But this one is, again, one that I did. And did I forget to put a mini in there? I think I did. Yep. Actually, no, that mini... Oh, no, that's underneath. There's stuff underneath we're going to be looking at too, guys, by the way. But here, these homes, okay, right here, are actually near one of the main streets, which is near these barracks that flank either side of one of the entryways into the city. So this is where like some guards are stationed inside these, and we'll look in those a little bit in depth in a second. And that's a contribution that Cedric came up with that concept and built the very first ones of those. Klein, did you copy and paste these, or did Cedric put those in himself?
We're looking.
Looking at the north gate to the map up by, if you can see my light, it's...
the house is on the exterior by the north gate?
The guardhouses.
Those were his, but I copied and pasted them in.
Okay, yeah, that's. I thought that's what happened. Cedric built the original design of that, which is on the south gate, and then to even it out, when Klein was filling out the edges around, which, again, to give credit, the concept and the basic design for the houses going all around these edges, and these guard gates, kind of guard station things near the gate, that was all Cedric Sky. So all credit goes to him for that awesome idea and the awesome design. And I want to save a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show of his till later, because it's so nice. It deserves to kind of be highlighted. But all this stuff around the edges, that concept was Cedric's. With the exception of over here in the northwest corner, when we get to that, you'll see the concept was still his. But this was Klein's specific contribution to that in a special way. So we'll see that in a little bit. But we're going back over here to still in the northeast quadrant of the city. And in here we've got these, like I said, upper middle class houses. And as I start to cut away, I think I'm going to have to zoom in more. And maybe even more. Yep, there we go. Okay, as I start to cut away, we're first going to get off of the two-story homes, this one and this one. So I've got this very large two-story home, where this one is actually for like a family of 8. Because in this upper floor here, I've got 3 separate bedrooms, all with 2 beds in them, and enough, armoires, dressers, or whatever you want to call them, in storage, to handle 6 people in the upstairs. And then as we go downstairs, down this nice large staircase that I made, again, I went with that fireplace design I used before. They've got their nice big seating area for everyone to eat together, and then they can cook right here in this fireplace. And then you got the master bedroom on the first floor sitting over here. So that's that home. Now the other 2-story home, we look up here and we can see up here, kind of they've turned this attic space, like they did with the other one, into bedrooms. But here they've got just 2 bedrooms. They've got like a master bedroom with a double bed here, and then a single bedroom there. And then when we cut away down to the first floor of this one, we see again it comes down the stairs. They've got a nice big fireplace like that. I pretty much used that fireplace design in all of these here. I really like it, so that's why I used it. But did that, and then they've got their kind of a dining area, a sitting area, some storage and things there. And then there's these other 3 homes in this same section, where even though these aren't really built up as 2-story homes, they're using the space in their attics for bedrooms. So each one of them, this is like more like open attic space. And actually, if you get down close to it and take a look, you can see through along the roof structure between that and the flooring, so to speak, of the attic. So you've got space there. So what they did is they went ahead and put walls in here to create a secure and secure from the elements and possible intruders and stuff, bedrooms. And they did that in all 3 of these homes. They've done that. Where, we've got here, this is actually kind of 2 bedrooms. One of them has got this big kind of haystack bed. I think what probably happened is I did not actually, let me check. Yeah, that's what happened. I cut away too far. So I've got, 1 bed over here, and then I've got like a double bed here. This one has a double bed up here. This has a double bed. Okay, and then some storage. So they all got this kind of stuff in the upper floor. And then in their main floor, again, the fireplaces. Okay, a sitting, dining area, kind of concepts going around. So very, very similar. And again, there's no real secrets in this set. But there is, right here, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Klein, I think you were the one who came up with this this well concept, correct?
One of them, Cedric, expanded upon another.
Oh yeah. He made a really interesting one. I'm talking like the basic well. I think the first ones that were in here were from you.
Great, the first one he made it better.
Yeah.
Cedric usually does.
Yeah. But this is a well design. I changed up the roof on it to match the Morgoth tile set being used in this area. But other than that, it's cut and pasted, and it's a nice little well. Okay, and then again, did landscaping around the area, make it look nice. All right, so that's that kind of top row of stuff that is in that northwest quadrant. So let's drop down to the next row. In here, this is the kind of a horse or donkey and cart business. They have a few horses and donkeys of their own, which you can see right here. Horse, pack mules, etc. So they've got their own small yard to kind of take care of those. But this is really a business that is designed to, either sell or rent, carriages or carts. And what I really wish I would have done is gotten someone who does some of the carriages that I've seen and that I've taken from Tales Bazaar and Tales Tavern and put in to the maps that I use in my D&D live stream. I wish someone had to come in and built one of those in here, because that would have been a great addition. But hey, that's something for you guys to do. If you like this map, you end up, using this map once we get it all put on there so you guys can snag it. And you want to go back onto Tales Bazaar and Tales Tavern and, look for like wagons and stuff. So people have come up with some amazing concepts for that stuff. Like I said, I've taken some of those for my live streams and used them in those maps. They're really cool, and they would fit in with this, what this business is. This is another one that I built. There's the Tog DM right there. But here, this is kind of their showroom floor with all their carts. They got some desks and registration, and then the merchant to operate it. In here, you got some workers, and what you've got, I'm going to have to come up a little bit with the cutaway so you can see it fully, but there is a crane that came up with. Okay, this kind of crane design to help lift the heavier pieces and stuff like that while they're building new carts and things like that in this workshop here. And then as we cut back down, they have this nice long passageway where they keep some storage stuff in there to go into this other workshop section where people are working on like the smaller parts. Things like, okay, maybe we need hinges and or maybe we're trying to make a really nice looking cart that a noble would use, so we're going to do some fancy carving and design, that kind of stuff. Then the main business office, where you've got like an administrative assistant in here, checks people in, and then the owner right there. Now, this one has a secret, and it is right in here. Yes. First secret of this show and tell. And this music doesn't really sound appropriate for it, but screw it. Alright, so this secret in this owner's office, if you'll take a close look, you'll notice the floor looks a little bit kind of wonky here. That's on purpose. When I built it, I didn't try to fix it to make it not look wonky, because it's just a little subtle hint that something's not quite right. Well, if I pull that... Oh, look. So I pulled that floor out of the way. There is a hatch right there. And when you open that hatch, there is a ladder going down. Now, this ladder design is one that Klein came up with well before we actually got ladders from the developers in Talespire. So this doesn't have the polish that something specifically designed to be a ladder does. But I still like the concept, and this is what you got. If you want, if you take this for your own, you can always swap it out for a real ladder, but I'm leaving it. Okay? This was a great design idea with what we had, and, gotta stick to the originality. I think it's cool to do that. So, but this ladder, as he goes down it, it leads down in here into the sewers. And as we cut away further to see into the sewers underneath it, it actually leads all the way out here, outside the city walls. And he's got this vault where he's got a ton of riches. A lot more than you would expect from a guy with a simple horse and cart business. I think something shady's going on there. Especially, why would he have an escape route? Just seems a little bit, suspicious to me. There is also a connection.
You're a trustworthy bastard.
Hey, there's Danelle. All right. So, yes, I am, by the way. But hey, here we go. We've got another connection here, and this is a one of the portcullises, and it's not playing nice with me trying to grab it right now. Maybe if I cut away, and there we go. Oh, had it for a second. See, if I close it like that, then that opens. Maybe in the future, the developers will come up with, design a piece that goes with this, that is an actual door or grate that is designed with it. But again, this was a concept. I think it was either you, Danelle, or you, Klein, or Cedric that thought of using that portcullis for that, and that was a pretty awesome setup. So I'm going to open that back up. So it's.
You're talking about. I wasn't listening. I was just finishing up the cutaway on this map where we're looking at.
Excellent, good, making progress on that then. So I was saying in the sewers, where you have that open round section, and then using the portcullises as a door. Yeah. I thought it was one of you guys. So I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember exactly, but that's a good way to to make do with what you got. But then, if we kind of come back up a little bit, we can actually see this outside the city, right here. He's got his escape route right under this grass, and if you pull this grass, oh look, he's got hatches, hidden under a thin layer of grass that he can open, go into this ladder so that he can escape. So he's got a sneaky way in and out. Alright, and that's pretty much him. I'm not too worried about putting things back right now. Excuse me. But that is the horse and cart business. Right next to that, this right here, this is another Klein contribution. Some upper middle class homes, where we've got 3 here, and then this is kind of like a duplex where the building structures are connected together, but they're 2 separate homes. So, as we zoom in a little bit to start cutting away, we start on this upper floor here, and in these 3, you can see that the attic space up here, they've got ladders coming up into the attic, and they've got some storage. This one actually has a makeshift bedroom up here. These, when we cut away the roof just a little bit more and actually get down to the next level of it, that's where we actually start seeing things on this one down here. But then here we've got this second floor on these. All of them have at least 1 bedroom, and then the stairs going up, some storage and stuff like that. On this duplex home set up here, on the second floor, we've got this section. This is one of the homes, and this is the other. They're both kind of L-shaped. Where we've got what looks like a kind of a nice study, area here, a bedroom here, and this one has 2 bedrooms. And then when we cut away down a little further, down to the first floor, we see, kind of a kitchen, fireplace, living area, dining area in both of these homes. And the same thing here with our for these 3 homes. Now, Klein, in the home set that you built that is next to the library, are there any secrets?
With the stores out in front with the super fancy posh clothing store?
Nope, not the posh clothing. I'm still in the northwest quadrant. It's between the horse and cart business and the library.
Well, if you'll give me a minute to load the map, because just switching over from the other one.
Okay.
I got it all chopped up for Talespire, Tales Bazaar, all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely do want to spend some time, if you haven't already, is kind of smoothing out edges so that each piece is done. Awesome.
Did that too while I was cutting it up. There's one spot that's iffy. I think I got it worked around.
Okay. Now the question is going to be, is that going to be over the 30 kilobytes?
None of them are, because I could pick them up and move them around.
I could do that with the ones I did before in here. I could pick them up, move them around, cut them, paste them. You just couldn't paste the data as the text file.
Ah, that I did not check.
Yeah, I'll when we get done with the stream, we'll start trying it and we'll see if we need to cut it up more. But anyway, so are you loaded in now?
I see your flashlight.
Okay, yeah.
I see the shadows on the ground. I just can't see everything else yet.
All right. So in just a moment, people, when Klein finally...
I'm in. Okay.
Oh, he's in. Okay. Are there any secrets in this one?
Don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Then we move on to Danelle's library and museum. And right here we've got, as we mentioned before, if we ever get glass, for tiles, this is going to end up being a skylight that he was putting in the library, and so he left that open for that. Excuse me again.
Of those houses, the only quote-unquote secret is that the attic is also a room in these three where it's not in this.
Yeah, we saw those.
I think you covered that.
Yep, we covered that. So up here, this is kind of the cutting away the roof on the library, where we can see down into this floor. It's got this vaulted ceiling going up to that skylight, and then they've got this upper platform that goes around the edges where it comes up from these stairs, and we've got all these bookcases and looks like built-in lantern holders with lanterns on them to provide light. And then as we cut away down further to the first floor, you can see again lined with bookcases on one wall there, as well as the stairs going up, plenty of seating, a check-in desk, and research areas. People can sit there and study the books, and that's the library. And then next to it is the museum. The museum, which we kind of decided for our purposes and our little kind of playing around with ideas and thoughts on the city, that this house, or this museum, was actually someone's home at one point. Like a famous hero of the city. And so that their home, after they passed and things went on, was turned into a museum. But it's from a long time ago, and so as you can see, this upper floor, that whole section here eventually fell in, and so it hasn't been repaired. And what they did is just took the section of the floor that was still good and kept that, and put railings there so that people could look down from above, and they can look at the exhibits that are up here. That ones, it kind of looks like diorama type exhibits in this upper floor a little bit, and then down below we've got some more exhibits as we cut away to the bottom floor here. So we've got a little drop down area here leading to some exhibits showing off things like the bearskin rugs, statues, coat of arms, some armor stand here, a war table with some armor and weapon racks and more statues, and then over here a check-in desk type area, and that is a museum. So now Danelle Are there any secrets in the library or museum that I should be aware of to show everyone?
There are not.
There are not. Okay. So far we've had one secret to show. But there are more coming, I guarantee it. Okay. So, now this is the last row in that northwestern quadrant. Again, this is a set of kind of middle-income housing. And this is one that I built. Again, you can see it right there. And this is just 3 houses where it's kind of been... These ones, they're pretty well off. They're doing okay because they were able to have extra land and just make it kind of park-like around their environment, so they had a little bit of a yard, which most of the people don't have in this city. So these are, fairly nice middle-income homes. However, as we go, we will see they are very simple as well, because these homes are all single-story homes, and they are pretty much cookie-cutter design that I went, because I actually built the horse and cart business and this in the same stream because there was still a little bit of extra time, and we're like, hey, let's fill out one more zone. So I basically built one house and then kind of cookie-cuttered the concept just so that we could get another zone finished, and that's what we came up with. It's just a simple, one main room. It's got its own little back door there. They've got enclosed bedroom, and then they've got like a storage closet area. And that's pretty much all 3 of these homes are the same like that. And there are no secrets in this one. Okay. Now, next to that is another Klein construction here, where he came up with these homes here. Okay. Which are kind of, I think one of them is kind of like a home/business, like a woodworker or woodcarver or lumberjack, I'm not sure. But he's basically got kind of like a laydown yard and some work equipment to deal with woodworking stuff. And that's this guy's home right here, so, it could also, we'll see when we get into it if it's also got like a storefront type shop. Okay. And he also, here's one of those first well designs that he created sitting right there. So, let's take a look here. We'll zoom in and cut away, and we can see we've got an upper story on these 2 homes here. And this one is just a very large, fairly empty bedroom, just with a bed and a few storage things. Here we've got, this one has 2 bedrooms in it. We come over, cut away a little further to get into the first floor of these homes, and we've got this single floor home with a bedroom that's kind of not totally enclosed but partially separated, and this large living area. And then for these 2 homes, we've got a large living area, and yep, sure enough, kind of a storefront for the lumberjack woodworker kind of person here, and then a living area for him as well. Now, Klein, are there any secrets in that one? That one is between the Arcane Academy and General Housing. It's just below the other one. Negative on that. All right.
I'm here with you, so.
Oh, okay. Danelle's not in. Okay. All right, so that brings us to the Arcane Academy, which is the tallest structure in the entire thing because I had to do that just to assert my dominance.
Of course.
After the church was built.
No, it's the mage's ego. They couldn't let the clerics have the final say.
That's exactly what it is.
Mage's ego.
Yep. Zenatsu says, I just found Talespire 3 days ago, so I am very new to the group. Are you building the city for a specific purpose or just to show off all the amazing options? Actually, this is a collaborative build stream. And basically, I was putting on some map builds where I took 2D maps and some older ones like the Caves of Chaos from B2. So if you're an old-time D&D player, you might recognize that. As well as another map that someone else did, 2D map that I found online called Sanctum Vipera. And I was doing build streams of those and just connecting with the community and having fun. And Klein hopped into my stream one day, and we started talking. And he said, "Hey, you ever think about doing like a collaborative stream where we get you and I get in there, and then we try to get more people in there and build together?" And so it was his brainchild, and so we decided, yeah, let's frickin' do it. So that's what we did. He laid out this city layout. Basically, it was just the walls and like the grass floor. He kind of
made them roads.
Oh yeah, no, you had the roads in it too, but it was basically all the buildings. There was no buildings at all, and it was broken up by the roads into zones, and we, kind of went through. It was like, okay, let's general housing zones, noble housing zones, slums, tavern, all sorts of little things we put in there, and then we started. I guess this was, what did we say? 2.5 months ago? 3 months ago?
May 10th, I think, was when we started.
Okay. So yeah, about 2 months ago. So 2 months ago is about when we started, and it's just anyone who's got Talespire, we welcome you to join us in these builds. All you got to do is pipe up and chat and say, hey, I want in, and we'll let you know how to join. This one, we're not bringing really anyone in because it's just a show and tell of the completed quote-unquote city, but it's just an effort to get people together, having fun, building together, seeing everyone's different ideas, their creativity, and learning things from each other as we do it. I mean, shit, I've learned so many different little building techniques from Klein and Danelle and Cedric and Melro and 42 Getafay. I mean, just everyone who's come in here and built something in the stream with us. I've learned so many things, and I think everyone has. And that's the fun of it. And the thing is, we're doing another one. So as soon as we're done with the show and tell here, I'm going to show you what map won for our voting on the Discord server for what we were going to do for the next collaborative build stream. And so if you've got Talespire and you want to join in, then it'll be next week. We'll be in that new map and starting to build. But if you don't have Talespire, please feel free to join us. Hop into chat. And once Talespire does get released for early access, I'm having a lot of fun doing this stuff. So, probably keep doing it. And and until it no longer is fun, I think keep doing it. And depending on how long it takes for them to get to the point where they're ready and are able to release it for early access, at that point, by all means, once you get it, join us. All right. It's amazing for game sessions. It's still new. It's still in beta, so there are some things. But if you're interested in seeing that, there, Zanatsu, you can check out in the VODs. You can check out some of my past streams. Because last night just had one of my D&D sessions. You can also check out on my YouTube channel. I've got all except for this last night's session are up there. And, basically starting once Talespire came out and I learned a little bit about it and how to use it, that's when I started using that in the stream. But you can actually watch it in action in a game, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy the hell out of it. All right, so anyway, back to the show and tell. Here we're looking now at the Arcane Academy, where, as it was said, the mage's ego has decided that we shall not suffer the clerics to have a taller building than us. So here we go. We're going to cut this stuff away. Wow, I think that is so tall it doesn't even cut away.
It doesn't.
That is kind of funny. I like that. All right. So I have to get below that so we can see it. All right. So right there. This is the main floor of the Arcane Academy. And, oops, somehow the fence is sitting outside. That's no good. Outside of where it should be. But they have this, they've got a kind of a grand entrance set up right here. And then they're kind of fenced all the way around to give them a little bit of privacy and security. But this is basically where all of the main education occurs for the people of the town. The mages, are there as educators. They're the ones who really love the books, so they share their knowledge and teach people. And some students even go on to become mages themselves. But we've got here this. Yes, Emagimacationum. But in here, this is the Mage Tower. This is where the founder and the headmaster of this Mage Academy lives. And this is a teleportation circle. Again, credit to Klein for coming up with an idea on how to make something that looks like, a teleportation circle or something cool like that. So that's a teleportation circle. And then we also have a front desk, which gets manned by, a student or one of the mages to set appointments for the headmaster, because people always come seeking the mage's help. So they gotta, make an appointment at there. And it could even just be like an unseen servant, maybe that. But anyway, and I still got the build light on, so that's good. But here we've got classrooms, because again, it's a learning center. So got a classroom here, got one here. There's actually, where's the doors for that? There we go. So the door here leading into this classroom, and then if you come around the walkway here, you can enter here to go to this classroom or go upstairs. And then in here, this is like the cafeteria area. Over here, there's another classroom over here. And then, you notice these kind of sticking down through. Well, that's because of the concept that we had originally come up for couches involved using those wooden posts. Okay? And like the look of it, but, we were, experimenting more and more, and some better ideas came up, but I never went and, finished or fixed those.
It is interesting that this couch in particular, though, has 4 wooden posts and then
2 of those.
Sort of on the back.
Yeah. Well, this, they bought this one at IKEA, a year ago. This was the newer model. The thing is, because the old model, this is the students, this is kind of like the student lounge, and one of the students, broke this when they were goofing off, so they tried to get like a replacement section for it, so they had to get the newer model.
I can believe it.
And it's IKEA, so it just, they still can just screw it together. But then they got, the stairs from downstairs come up here, got a student lounge area, got another classroom over here, another one over here, and then a stairs going up to the 3rd floor. And as we go up to the 3rd floor up here, this is where we've got the teacher's lounge, the headmaster's office, and for the other teachers, the other mages, this is kind of their offices over here. And for a little kind of a mini secret here, this is where the really bad students end up. In this secreted away wall, I actually put like a door inside this wall, so if I pull that wall out, and it's not playing. Let's see, there.
You nasty
bitch. You can pull that wall out, and there, there it is. They put the students inside there if they are bad. But
when you say bad, do you mean the misbehaving students, or the ones whose magic are just bad students and it just explodes in their face, and that's where they just sort of...
No.
No one died here. What are you talking about? No, we teach our students very well.
I would say it's a combination. It's really ill-behaved students that decide to do really bad things, and then students that accidentally blow themselves up or kill themselves somehow. Yeah, they cover that shit up.
He who should not be named.
Yes. And then over here in the headmaster's office, you'll notice there's one of these mage orbs, and I've got a couple of them around the place. There's also this ladder that was built going up to the upstairs, because up here there's another teleportation circle here, as well as this is kind of a a sacred room for the headmaster. This is a special study room / worship area for whatever kind of thing you want it to be. You know, it could be a powerful, good deity. Could be a demon. Could be whatever you want, and who knows. But that's up to you. And that's, he can access it through up there. Now, the reason there's a teleportation circle there, as well as a mage orb here, and then a teleportation circle on the first floor of the tower, is because that's how the mage, especially the headmaster, that's what he uses to get around. Steps on this teleportation circle, and it's connected to these mage orbs. There are no stairs up and down in the tower. Basically, if he can use the teleportation circle keyed to any floor he wants to go to in his tower or in the rest of the building. And then the mage orbs are keyed to it, where if he's used a teleportation circle to get somewhere, he just touches that mage orb, and then it pops him right back to that same teleportation circle, and then he can just pop to the next place he wants to go. So that's how he moves around through his building. And so on this floor, this is kind of his study workshop area on this floor of the Mage Tower, and you can see it's a library. It's got a ton of magical components and book stuffs and all that over it. And then going up further, we get to his main sitting and relaxing area. Nice big fireplace, a nice comfortable chair for himself, his, more enjoyable books that he likes to read or study. And then going up yet further, because this is a huge tower, we finally have his bedroom. And yet above that, as Klein helped me finish this off, he decided we're going to put a shitter at the top. So he's got a bathroom right at the very top room of the
everybody
tower.
Poops. Everybody
Yes. Including archmages.
Right.
Yes. Including archmages. Archmages poop too. And then I decided this tower needed like an eternal flame beacon at the top. So that's the Arcane Academy and kind of the mini secrets that are in there. So that is the northwest section. That took us almost an hour, so I'm going to speed up just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to the northeast. Again, here, this one here is a home that I built.
Now, before you go into this one, I would like to point out this is the last one you built.
Yeah, this is the last one.
We're about to look at next is the first one.
The first one, yeah. Here's the first one, and this is the last one. I think definite improvements on building ability style and things like that. Hey, Cedric. Yeah, it does sound a little bit weird, like an echo. I've been having some computer problems over the past week or so. Had to go through a whole bunch of shit to get the computer to work properly again, and I'm still having some issues with the sound. I've been trying to work it out. Had some issues with it last night in the stream, which kind of sucked. But I'm gonna push through on this one. It's hopefully not too annoying, but it's what we're gonna try to do, and try to get this all done, and then after that, hopefully I'll be able to figure out what the hell's going on with my sound. So, all right. So here, this is the last noble house structure that I built. There is this little garden area out front. Someone else built that. It says Lex. So I think that was someone who came in once. And,
that is someone who came in once and actually won one of the giveaways for Talespire.
Oh yes. Won one of the giveaways. He came in once. We did have some keys, beta keys, courtesy of Klein. He had some extras. And so we did some giveaways with those. And Lex was one of the winners. And so he got it. He loaded it up. He joined us on the stream. He was very first time being in Talespire, so he just decided to do something small. So he just did this nice little kind of gardeny park area. Now, for this noble house, I decided I went with like a courtyard area, as you can see down here. And then going through, cutting away on the upper floors, what we can see here is I've got this grand staircase that leads up to the upper floors, and it splits off where I've got a bathroom up here that Klein actually did that bathroom for me because we were trying to finish up that stream, and he helped me out in populating the interior of this structure. So he's got double sink, toilet, and then this is a nice big soaking bathtub. So then going past that, there's a door that separates this kind of open area by the stairs from a hallway, and that leads down to 2 bedrooms down here, probably for the kids, or maybe house guests, whatever you decide to do. Okay, and then they have another doorway that isolates their hallway, but leads out to a little balcony that kind of looks down over the steps. That goes across the other way, or you can come up this side of the stairs to get to this section where there is a study up here, and then a little separate hallway leading into the master bedroom. Then, cutting away further down to the first floor, we've got our grand staircase. We've got this ginormous dining room table that I put together with this like feast of food on it. A couple pillars to help support and add some decoration. A lounge, relaxing, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? A communal area for conversation, fun, and hanging out with people, getting to have a good time. And then over here, this, and I never put a table. No, that's right, because this is the dining room. This is a ballroom right here, and I put a bunch of bards in there because, well, gotta have the music. And then over here is their kitchen, where I kind of expanded a little bit upon the original concept of a stove that was started by Klein and then coordinated together and collaborated on with Danelle and Klein to come up with a stove concept. I put 2 additional kind of rows here. It was usually just this one, but it wouldn't fit against the wall properly without those in the way I set things up, but it works. There are no secrets in this one. And so that is that noble structure. Alright.
It's a noble structure.
Yes, it is a noble structure. And here's another noble structure where I've got another little guy saying, yep, I made this. This one, again, this is the very first one I built in this collaborative build stream, so it's quite a bit different. Okay, it is a duplex, and they are pretty much cookie cuttered. Okay, it's more like, I should say, more like mirrored, sort of. Okay, so this is the upper floor. Again, I've got a grand staircase, but nowhere near as grand as the one over on the other house. I learned a bit from Danelle's concepts and made something a lot cooler looking. But up here they've got, small little balcony leading into the master bedrooms, or another kind of long, thin balcony here that goes into 2 bedrooms on the other side. Then as we go down to the main floor, here in the main floor, again, like I said, it's kind of mirrored. I've got the kitchens down here, dining rooms here, their main entryways right here. And then I've got a washroom, a bathroom basically for each of them. And then kind of like a study right here for each of them, and maybe a dining area or relaxation, whatever. Now this one does have a secret. Right down under this tile. So let's go take a look. Yes. The people in this noble house are not as they seem to be.
There's no secrets in this town.
Yes, if you remove that tile, there is a hatch. Again, using the design Klein came up with for a ladder in this, because it was pre-official ladders. But there's a hatch leading downstairs. into a torture chamber. People in that house, yes, people in that house might be a little bit evil. Additionally, they have an escape route to the sewers if they ever need it.
Is it a torture chamber or is it a BDSM room?
Safe word honored.
Could be a 50 Shades room. You never know.
As long as if safe words are honored,
yeah.
It's the second one. If safe words are not honored, it's a torture room.
Exactly. Yes. The safe word is that hurts. So. Why not both?
There's something wrong with us.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Zenitsu, why not both? Just depends on who you bring down there, right? Alright, so now this noble zone, this structure here, this is created by Klein, and this is one gigantic home for a noble family. The whole thing is for one family. And in fact, remember how we talked about the buildings around the outside were normally like, just like small little homes that people, like one-room homes? Well, these aren't one-room homes. If you look closely, there's a fence going around this entire property. This is all owned by this noble. Who knows? This is probably like the frickin' mayor or something. This is the guy in charge here. Because he's got all these structures are his. And if we start cutting away... Oh, I gotta zoom in to get that to do that. So I start cutting away. Oh, still not enough. There we go. Okay, so we start cutting away here. And on the upper floor, right here, this is a very large canopied master bed, huge master bedroom with this elaborate, walled-off staircase from a double door leading up. He's even got his own, massive dining table. Perhaps this is, perhaps he brings, important people up here for meetings, maybe even council meetings or stuff like that. Who knows? Okay, but this is his upper, chambers. Going down to the next level, there are 4 bedrooms down here. And this is a very large house. This, this family, looking at, you could have, 8, 9, 10 people maybe living in here. Or maybe, a couple of these rooms are guest rooms for visiting dignitaries. You never know. Going down the next flight of stairs to the next level, yet more bedrooms. Again, could they be for, guests? Possibly. It's a big enough house, it could be. And then they just have this large open area here, which actually leads out onto this really nice balcony. That from that balcony, you've got, which we'll check out a little bit later, a great view of the park, as well as, you get some open air. It's protected from the sun well. So, very nice setup there. And then going down, yes. And then going down further, now we have kind of the main floor where there's a library study area. There is a beautiful kind of grand staircase set up here. There's a main floor dining room. These 2 corners, hasn't really populated with anything. But hey, if you get the map for yourself, feel free to make it whatever you want. And then they've got this kind of grand entry foyer right here. Then it goes down yet further underneath. We see more beds and stuff because here is the servants' quarters. They've got their own, place to cook and eat and stuff like that, and they've got their own beds. So they've got their own stuff they can do so that the owners of the house don't have to, worry about, all right, are they living elsewhere? Are they going to be available when I need them in the middle of the night and I'm crying for my Evian and no one's bringing it to me? So. But no, that's there. So then they also got, this is back to that first floor, that main floor. There's a door in the back here. This is the main entry right up here, but there's a door in the back leading out into their fenced-in back property where they've got, come up a little bit, they've got right here another little kind of separate house. And Klein, I believe you mentioned this one was kind of like for guards.
That's how I envisioned it.
Yeah, like a little guard house where the
rack, weapon stand.
Yep, a couple beds, so they can work in shifts. They also have their own private stable right here. I think one of the only houses in the entire city to have their own private stable. And then
this guy's really wealthy, man.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. And then out here we got kind of like a covered patio type thing. Little outdoor area, sitting area, out in nature that's covered to protect them from rain and sun and stuff like that. So there we go. And I think there's no other secrets in that one, is there? It's just...
No, there weren't any secrets in this one, I don't think.
Okay.
It was big enough as is.
Yep. Alright, so now we get to Klein's next invention. And there we go, fix that. Okay. Which is this structure here, which we've got another kind of duplex setup, noble house structure. And then facing the street, though, right here, are some high-end shops. Okay, like, this is where the rich go for fancy stuff. So let's start taking a look at this as we zoom in a bit and then start to cut away. We will see on this upper floor here, this is on this side. I'm going to spin so we can kind of see. We've got two separate sides. There's a main door down here and here. So I got this house here and this house here. Well, in this house on the left in the stream, these people are doing very well for themselves. They've got this great house and they're very wealthy. They even got like just random pile of treasure in the corner because why not? The ones next to him, however, it's very barren. And Klein assured me that this was on purpose for this because this guy lost everything in the stock market or something. He was a bad gambler. Who knows? He's not having a good time. And you'll see...
Bet against the church.
Yeah,
no one bets against the church.
Yep, there you go. And you'll see why that's a really bad idea later on. But, no, so we go down into the people who still have money, and they've got all these bearskin rugs. They've got this gorgeous kind of this gorgeous kind of overlook area that looks down to the, from this vaulted section down into the main floor. There's also 2 additional bedrooms on this floor. The other home has 2 bedrooms. But that's really about all they got. I mean, they just got some really cheap-ass floor beds and nothing else. Because, once again, shouldn't bet against the church. Now, going down to that first floor, we can see their grand stairways. It's part of the structure, still exists. This guy's got this simple table. This one has this whole, war game table going on. This is for the D&D group that he does. That
actually was what I had in mind with that table and those chairs.
Yep, that's exactly what I was picturing when you did it. I'm like, that's a D&D game. You even got bookshelves right there for all the source materials, and putting minis on display and all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what it is. And then there's the kitchen and dining room. And then over here, this guy again, it's just garbage left over, scraps of paper, nothing really to eat. He's shit out of luck. And there's no real secrets in the noble house. However, I think you did say you had some secrets in these.
The only biggest secret is that this entire build, I challenged myself to not have any corners on the inside.
Oh, yes.
I hated myself, but it was also fun.
Yeah, if you'll notice that I forgot to point that out. Look at it. All the interior corners are not corners; they are rounded. And yeah, I remember you were agonizing over that. It's like, why did I do this to myself? It was
really nice in the finished product, but during the time, it's like, oh my god, what did I do? Why me?
Yeah, why? All right, so now we're cutting away down to see the upper floors of these 2 shops. You've got a fancy clothier's shop here, where I actually guessed this right away off it, and that just goes to the skill and imagination that Klein put in building it. That here you've got this upper floor. This is kind of like the fancy area where the bride comes, tries on her dress, and she's got like mirrors all around, and she's on a little pedestal, and her mom and bridesmaids are all sitting around and going, "Oh, not that one. No, go with the other one." And they've got
wearing peach. You're going with peach.
Yeah, really?
Did you ever wear peach?
Peach? Yeah, you
That
don't
was
like
so
that.
last season.
Yes. If you're not happy with that, you'll hate to see the bridesmaids' dresses. So. But yeah, no, I mean that's that, or maybe somebody who's standing up there and the tailor is pinning their suit and taking measurements, stuff like that. That's that upper floor for the fine clothiers. Then you've got this magic shop over here, where you can see some mage orbs, all sorts of spell components, books, possibly scrolls in these bookshelves and everything here. And then going down to the first floor, you can see the first floor of the magic shop, several more mage orbs, more bookshelves. They have possibly some magical weapons on these weapon racks, or armor on those. Could possibly be the mic on my webcam. Interesting. It's supposed to be completely disabled. I don't know, but that is a possibility. I'll have to look into that. Thank you for that idea, Cedric. I'll have to check that out. Because the other guys aren't echoing at all, are they? Let me know if that's the case.
Am I echoing?
Echo.
Because it would make sense if they're not echoing and I am, that it would be that. No, they're not. Okay, so it might very well be that. I'll have to find out why, because that's not supposed to be picking up. It's disabled, so. Actually, let me check something real quick. I don't want to... output, input. Okay. I just tried it. Did it stop? Did it stop with the echo? Because if it did, Cedric just saved the day. So we'll find out here in a little bit after the delay. But, so... Nope, it didn't. Okay, so that wasn't it. Alright. But anyway, in this magic shop, these could be some maybe magic armor, maybe magical clothes, who knows? Because over here, notice all these armor stands, but they're not really supposed to be armor stands. These are like clothing racks. And then wardrobes or shelves of clothing. And then of course the front desk area, or the checkout area on both of these shops. And then out front, you can see he's got an awning going across the front of this. Yeah, it was a good idea, Cedric. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, it wasn't it. Okay, so that's that one. Then we have this park. And I believe that this was a Cedric contribution right here. And, of course, Tab decided to stop working for a second. So let's see if I can... There we go. Nope, that's 42 Getafix. That was 42 Getafix. So 42 Getafix made this park and this fountain design, which is amazing. The fountain itself comes out of the Morgoth set, but it doesn't have this nice bright blue water and all that, and the way this looks as it is by clipping things into each other, and specifically clipping beds with the blue sheets in a very specific way to make it actually look right and not look like trash. So he did a wonderful job with that. Then he's even got actual kind of different levels. You can see, these go up, so it's not just a flat park. There's different levels. Someone's got a picnic going on here. It's just a very nice park. Okay. And then we have over here, this was a Cedric one for sure. This is a noble house, but a very, very old noble house. One of the older ones in the city. So it's a little more run down, and in fact, it has some ghosties out and about. Okay, so kind of the old haunted mansion. No one really wants to deal with it again. Now Cedric went ahead and made this gorgeous, again using the fountain, but changing it up and made this just brilliant, like golden looking fountain by using lights and stuff like that, and the lighting effects. And then up here, as we take a look and get the right zoom, the right cutaway going here. Okay, so he's got this most upper floor here, which looks like a master bedroom, and there's the master of the house. Okay, and then goes down to the next floor, which on the next floor there are a couple more bedrooms here. This looks like more of a communal bedroom, maybe for guards, who knows, something like that. A hallway here, and this then leads to these stairs that wind down to go further downstairs. But then there's also this opening archway that leads out to this terrace outside that's on the roof section of this part of the building. And you've got this tree that may have been alive at one point, but is now dead. Well, may have been alive. It had to have been alive, otherwise it would have gotten that big. But it had a tree here that is now dead, and it looks like it, used to be very nice and beautiful. And then going down yet another level. So as we come down these stairs, we come into this main room here. This seems like a, kind of a nice sitting and carousing area. You've got some tables and benches and stuff to hang out in. But there are ghouls all over the place, so beware. Going through this door, you come into maybe a little kind of a sitting room, relaxation room, and then another bedroom back here. And then it looks like he's got his own personal closet. Ooh, and there are bones hanging out. Probably because those ghouls. They've probably been eating people, whoever dares venture in. Then stairs going down this way. So as we cut down one more. Oh, and this, you can see through here, this is a balcony overlooking this vaulted section. So we go down to this next floor. We can now see here, the stairs come down, and there seems to be a very large storage area. Then we have a dining room or meeting area. Then we have another kind of maybe war planning area, who knows. Fireplace right there, so possibly cooking in there. And then that comes out to the front door to this fenced in yard area going around it, where that fountain is, and a specter is located. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't remember exactly where it was. Oh, there it is. There's a hatch here. Oh, missed that guy. That's the Ghost of Ambition is right there. Okay. But right here, we got another hatch. And if you open it up, and I don't think, did he ever finish it? Yeah, it looks like he may have. So if we cut away further, yoink, it leads down here into the sewers. And I love what was done here to make it look like dirty, brackish water. Okay, so now that leads us into the sewers here from this old, haunted now, noble structure. Alright. So that's that one. So we only got one row left in this quadrant. And that's going to be starting right here with the Tavern. Okay, this is like the main inn and tavern. It's the biggest one. So, this is kind of where everybody, goes. Grass foam and clipped beds. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Thank you, Cedric, for sharing. That's what he did to put it together, and it looks really cool. So now the tavern here.
The size of your tavern.
Yes, it's a very large tavern because you got to have at least one structure in a town that's decent size like this. One, like inn and tavern that is really trying to be the spot and accommodate for everyone if it can.
Where's the party going to stay when they visit town?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Crimson Ferret.
The Crimson Ferret. You know what? Cannon. That is now the name of the Crimson Ferret. That is the name of this tavern. So here at the Crimson Ferret, they've got.
I can't take credit. That's a crit roll.
Oh, that's a crit roll one. Oh, then we have to change it. We can't steal that.
It's not an actual name. It was just something that was said in passing.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll take it. Fine. Fuck up. No, just joking. But here we have on this floor This is the high end suites. We've got 2 here, pretty decent size, each with their own private balconies. And then we've got this one, like the presidential suite, where this one's got its own private balcony as well. And that one actually looks out, has a really good view out here over the city and the market and the arena and everything. And then there's even this right here is actually, I didn't really put it in, but just as an idea, I was thinking that this could be like a behind these dressers, whatever you want to call them. There could be like a door that is used here for like storage for extra stuff that the Crimson Ferret needs. So now going down to the next level. In here, this is where the majority of the rooms are. We've got 3 larger rooms here. They've got a storage room here. I never ended up putting any of the storage stuff in there, but that's a storage room. Or you could always make it another room. Up to you guys. And then 8 bedrooms here, real small single bedrooms. So it's got decent amount of capacity. You got the 3 upstairs that could easily fit multiple people there. And then you got 8 here easily. You could double people up if you really wanted to in these. And then 3 larger ones here. And they'd probably make that another bedroom. But then they've also got this nice open area that leads out onto their balcony, which has a great view looking out over the market, over the church, the academy, everything. So it's a nice view. And this is also, patrons, of the Inn and Tavern who are staying there, they can easily access it out here. But people can also use this set of stairs here that leads into this little hedge maze that Klein helped me with this one a little bit. This hedge maze that also leads out, or can have some little private trysts under there, or come underneath this. Okay, which both these are deck areas are covered. Or sorry, this one isn't covered. The lower area is covered as we clip down to the last level here, so that bar patrons and stuff can spend their time under here and be protected if it's raining or whatever. Or they can go inside and enjoy. There's lots of tables and space. Very large bar, plenty of beer and wine in the kitchen. And a nice big stage here for entertainment. And that's it to this place. There's really no secrets here. They got a little back door for the help, but that's about it. No big secrets. So that is the Crimson Ferret. So now we move to the next one, which I also built this one. This is the City Hall, like the Town Hall. And if you couldn't tell, I really like putting fire on top of things.
Honestly, I can't wait for one of your D&D games, or, the party's in a town. What's the end called? The Crimson Ferret?
Yep.
I'll just go, oh no.
Oh yeah.
That town.
It's happening. It's happening. That I need to make it happen. But here we go. This right here, get a look from the front. This is the town hall. They've got this, really just a decorative entryway. Kind of a waste of money, but politicians. That it could lead to a hell of a tavern brawl. It's a pretty big space. The Scarlet Martin. That's a good one too, Cedric. Crimson Ferret and the Scarlet Martin. Hey, yeah, one of the ones you built. That's a Scarlet Martin, right? So this, kind of a waste of taxpayer dollars, but you guys voted them in. That's what they did. This grand entryway. And really what they did is they took over this older building and then made it newer and modernized it a little bit on the interior, because you can see that this is like this old stone as part of the original structure. You can also see that kind of down on the main portion of the building down there. But then they began to rebuild this and modernize it a little bit on the interior, and that's where you're getting all this Morgoth tile sets. But here you can see it opens up, and it's basically open from the floor all the way here to the ceiling, except for, as we cut down a little bit, right there. Okay, and this up here, this can be added storage or whatever you want to use it for, but right here, on this floor, this is where the council members have their own offices. So you've got 6 offices here and 6 seats for a 6-member council. Okay. You also then have, so they got their own offices to deal with, and then here is a balcony that overlooks the park. They're council members. They get perks. They can hang out there. And then when they come down here and around, they can go down these stairs near the front. Because this actually, I would say this probably used to be the very first church in the town. And it got really, really old and decrepit and broke down. And it was taken over as the town council because the new church was built. So here, as we cut away further, we are now
new management.
Yeah, under new management. We're let's see, we'll fix that. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you got to do that to get some of the tiles to show because they decide to say, nope, I'm not going to show. But here you can kind of see the floor looks a little bit weird, but I don't care. I'm just saying I'm okay with it. The reason is because there is a pretty major secret here, but this is the main chamber for the council. So you can see there's like bench seating all around for members of the city to come and sit down during council events if they want. You got the council seats. You got a raised dais platform here for people to address the council, for petitioning them for things, or standing trial, stuff like that. And then you've got over here. These are the stairs leading up to the councilman's offices. But there's also, right in here, you can't see them because they are hidden. These are secrets. Da-da-da, secret there, and the same on the other side. I'm going to put that back, right? As well as a secret here. Da-da-da. Stairs there as well. There are 3 sets of stairs. This is like the main grand set of stairs when people are really trying to, when the people involved are trying to really impress other people. The other 2 sets that are kind of built into the building stairs are for kind of the normal in and out movement. But if we cut away down below this, we can see where those stairs go. Yes. That is exactly what she said, you dirty-minded bastard. But here you can see the stairs coming down from either side here, and these are the stairs from up there, into the Thieves Guild that is directly under the town council. Because, you may have some shady politicians going on here. And there's enough in here for like the head of the Thieves Guild, like this is their room, and you can have 8 or double them up or whatever, the thieves with individual rooms because they're full-on members or whatever. And then they've got kind of their own special little meeting area and then a relaxation area.
Members.
And then a war table, when they plan their heists and stuff like that.
Oh, no, that's a D&D table. We've already established that.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Thieves Guilds, they love to play D&D. So, but there's another secret in this as well. Behind these kind of throne-like structures for the head of the Thieves Guild and his partner, whoever that is, the first and second in command, or, maybe they're a married couple, who knows, whatever. The 2 in charge, they get to sit up there. And then behind, I have to do this again, I bet. Yep. Behind there, da-da-da. And we're going to have to zoom in on this so you guys can see this. But right in there, ooh, well, this is when we finally got new ladders, by the way. I replaced these. But here, this is the new ladders. On both sides, it does the same. You can kind of see the other one in there. But got new ladders, and I'm going to just close that back up so we can cut away and see. because they have their own escape down to the sewers through a secret door here, basically. So that way, if shit hits the fan and their hideout gets, raided or something bad happens and these guys need to escape, they just slide these out of the way, which they're set up to do so, and they drop their asses right down these ladders, and the other members can follow, and then shoom, they're out. All right, so that's the council building. Next is the barracks. This was a Klein-built barracks, and one of the things I really like about this is how he built this kind of like a drawbridge setup that goes from here across to the wall of the city, so that up here, because you can see all these hatches right here, the city guards, this is the main barracks area. They can now get up to see, get up on top of the wall in case they're under siege or something, fairly easily. All right, so there we go. All right, so here's the stairs leading up to those hatches, and then up here they've got the barracks. So you can see you can have tons of guards for the city in here. Then you've got some. Maybe like, the captain of the guard and maybe some lieutenants, some more important guys. Kind of the officers' room, strictly for officers
D&D table.
Yep, strictly for officers.
They even have their own private door, so they don't even have to go out and then back in. It's just, nope.
Right. Well, they're being considerate. They don't want any of the non-officers to know that there's an officer D&D game going on, so they keep that shit hidden.
Yep.
Because they just wouldn't want them to feel left out. So that's this floor. When we drop down another floor, this is a prison area. So here they've got a dining area here, the kitchen and storage areas here, and then some storage on the ends, and then prisoner cells right through here. Okay. Then here is like the main entry, the main way into the barracks / prison, so they take prisoners in, put them in here. Guards can go either way. They can, come up this way, go in through into here. Prisoners are really only left here, and then food is brought.
Aggressive town guard. They can go either way.
They can. Just keep coming with them, don't you? Then we got some more hatches in the floor here, because this one also has a secret. It has a maximum security cell underground, where you've got not one, but 2 steel doors. So, this is where they keep Bane. So,
you really want to keep the Man in the Iron Mask a secret, you throw him in there.
Exactly.
That's him right there.
Exactly. All right, so that is the northeast corner. So we've now covered 2 of the of our quadrants. Okay, we still have quite a bit to go here. Again, I'm going to try to speed it up just a little bit more because it's taking some time. So I'm just going to drop straight down to the southeast quadrant here and look right here at the market that Klein put together. This was actually started by Espionage, who is one of my players in my Wednesday night stream. He started making a market area, but then he just got swamped with some of his school and work stuff, and he wasn't able to join in the build stream anymore. So Klein, after a while, we talked about it, and we asked Espionage, and he said, oh, please, yeah, I can't join in, someone take over. So Klein took over, and he created this really nice outdoor market area. And I have to get the right height on it. There we go. So it's got one building here, one kind of like almost full-on indoor market or indoor store, except it's no doors, it's just open, but it's an actual enclosed walls, whereas the rest of them are like stalls. Okay, and so we can see a lot of different things here. Like each one of these has some different stuff. Let's see, I don't want to cut off too many things. This one's, selling some food like cheese, pumpkins. Here we've got goods, lots of different baskets and goods here. This is like a of food stand where they've got this one. I actually populated this one myself because you can tell because there's my favorite thing to do, which is build a cake out of Talespire shit, which I put on there. But then we've got, just lots of different goods and services, in this market. And if you use it for, like a library, books and stuff here. Yep, that was coming to that one. And then over here, the Undertaker. This is, people die a lot in this town, surprisingly. I don't know why. You guys know why?
I'll tell you.
No secrets here. We don't know why. But people die a lot. Coffin business is booming. So coffin business is definitely booming. So there we go. So that's the market. So see, I'm speeding up a little bit here.
Cool.
All right. COVID. Yeah, they got the COVID. They got the Rona. All right. So now, right next door, I'll back up a bit. This is one of the main entertainment venues in this town, the arena. Gladiatorial fights, where we've got on this upper level here. This is where the high rollers come to sit and enjoy the battles and the combat. They get nice tables and chairs, nice comfy chairs and even couches to sit at. They get food provided, and then they can place their bets on the gladiators in the pit below. Going down, we can see stairs leading down to the lower floor. This is the main pit area, and I'll zoom in a little bit here. Okay, this is where the average citizen, guests, most likely the party, unless they manage to flash some coin around, are going to be watching pit fights, or maybe even pit fighting themselves. There's your real brawler spot. Exactly. Get them involved in arena battles. Here you go. Then we have this area here with stairs leading down to an underground area. This is where it's not really like cages or pens. This is like, professional gladiators. So like professional gladiators, they have their own rooms. And while they're not slaves, they're not really free either. This is kind of like, here, you're paid to fight. This is where you stay. You stay here. If you die or start sucking at fighting, you're gone. So, like the really good ones get the big rooms, and then everyone, the other ones get here. But anyone can join the arena and fight.
Slight touch to this. Not really a secret, but
yes, where at?
Notice this room is less populated. This room, which is less populated than this room, which is less populated than this room.
Okay, do that again because I had to cut way down to see it. I just got there.
This room has less in it, less luxuries than this room. Which has less luxuries than this room.
And less than that. So this is like your ranking within the gladiator. The better you are, the better room you get. Nice.
And then the top people, they're free to use the sewer exit. Each got one.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did miss that. There is, right at the top, they each have a way to exit into the sewers. Okay. Alright, so there we go. That's the arena. Now, next over here, another Cedric creation. You can see his uses the little green slime and puts Cedric on it. This is another kind of general housing area that he put together. Got these 4 houses here. And I know I remember that there is supposedly a secret in here that he mentioned, but I don't think I could ever find it.
I remember it.
You remember it? Good. Oh wait, it's like under one of the beds, I think. Or under it's under this, it's in this one, I think. But anyway, here's the buildings. Again, you've got 4 houses in this block, so a bedroom, another bedroom here, kind of a little sitting area, storage room, maybe, relaxation, reading books and stuff. Down the stairs, at the end, would you be able to show how all the sewers connect? Oh, yes. Yes, I definitely will. I plan on doing that. But here we've got stairs going down to the next floor there. I've got an upper floor on this one too, kind of, so I'm going to cut away just a hair more. Actually, both these do. So, we've got here, this one, all its upper floor is just a bedroom. And this one is, actually, there wasn't an upper floor on that, it was just open. So, we're cutting down to the first floors now. So, this house, Cedric made it kind of as, like, it's a business as well as a home. You know, because it looks like they've got it set up like a counter for customers to enter and deal with stuff. And then, you know, maybe got some wares on stuff over here. And maybe some work on stuff here. And then he goes up to go to his home area. This one, again, it looks like it is set up as a business with a counter. But then back here, a very simple kind of one room, but by the way the walls are made, not meant to, meant to feel like more than one room due to the way the walls are shaping it. And that's one thing Klein and I definitely both commented on when we first looked at this and saw this, is we really like how Cedric manages to, without using doors, create separations that kind of delineate different rooms, but still keep it open. It's neat.
I definitely use that in a lot of my later stuff after seeing it here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you did that in the Noble House with the rounded corners. It's in a couple places. Oh no, I know exactly. I know definitely where you did it. Is the Adventurer's house?
Yep. Is it there too?
Yep. Yep. This one is just a simple one room home. This one, it's got the upper floor is where the bedroom is, but other than that, it's just a one room home. And yet, right behind the weed.
I didn't do that.
I did. Is it underneath, or is it just the fact that there's weed? I can't remember.
It's just the fact that there's some fun.
There's weed in the corner?
And
there was something else
that, and then there's also...
That's where it was. It was this house, under this bed. Right here. This bed. Underneath that bed, there is ladder leading down into this room, which looks like another torture room. So I'm thinking that Tim over here really needs to get in touch with Alan, the Noble. They might have some good times together.
How do you know they're not the same person?
It could be. Hey, Lotson. Sorry about the audio right now. As I explained to others before, I've been having some problems with my computer over the last week. And so it's been, I've had to do a lot to try to fix it and get it so it's at least functioning, which it is. However, that meant I had to go through and I had to try to redo a whole bunch of settings in the audio, and there's something that's still not quite right. So it's giving me kind of a little mini echo effect. I apologize about that. That normally isn't the case. It's actually only been last night's stream it was happening, and today. Hopefully I can get it sorted out over this weekend so that don't have to deal with that anymore. But sorry about that. Alright, so...
The YouTube is better since that's locally recorded too.
Yeah. So here we go. What, the YouTube? No. YouTube is... it's the VOD.
Well.
Yeah, it's all the VOD, and it is downloaded from there, and then I edit from there. So... But here we go. This also is right next to this general housing structure that Cedric built. I think that was the first well.
I think you're right. It was some unused space, and it's just kind of like we can't put much into there. So exactly. Park.
Yeah, so a little mini park right there. All right, so that's that section. We're just going to go straight south one to this warehouse. Now this was from 42 Get a Fix. He actually... What he did was he had built this already. And this was supposed to be just kind of a whatever area. We weren't sure exactly. And he said, hey, you guys need a warehouse? And we were like, yeah, sure. So he had built this warehouse on his stuff, on his maps. And then he copied it over to this map for us. And it is outstanding. It looks amazing. Once we get the right cutaway level, we'll be able to see. But as you cut away the roof, You can see it's got these upper level kind of balconies going around with storage, so it's almost like high up shelves. You keep cutting away further down. You can see you got like the main platform area, storage, lots of different stuff stored all the way around here. You keep going down further, and there's still more storage out here. It's just a big ass warehouse. It even has kind of some lay down yard area out in the front with more boxes and storage and things. Also has this big gated entry to the warehouse itself, as well as to the fencing that's going around it. And then I don't think there's any secrets in this, but let's just see if you did anything in particular. Nope. No pathways to the sewer or anything that I can see. So that's...
I think the sewers are put in after that one.
Yeah. So that's that one. Right next to it, right here, this is another Klein construction. So Klein construction project here. This was another general housing area. So as we can see here in the upper floors of these, we've got 4 homes. Each of them got some bedrooms going on. And yeah, like here, this is where you use some of that no door stuff. You started using some of that here. Like right here and over here. But then he's also got some storage, different bedrooms. Moving it down further, you've got the main floors. On the main floors, kitchen, dining room, kind of living areas. And then on 1, 2, I think all 4 of them, they go down into a basement. And they each have these basements, which are down kind of on the same level as the sewers. But this one actually has a secret door hidden by some boxes and stuff that goes into the sewers. The other 3 don't. And then they kind of got this nice communal little park area in the center that all the residents can, that live in these homes can stay in and hang out. Alright, now to this section, which this is one of Cedric's ones that is just freaking nuts.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is unbelievable. So, let's see, get down, zoomed in enough, and then there we go. Alright, so we've got these structures here. This was originally designated as general housing. However, Cedric decided to add some flair and do a lot better than general housing. Because what you've got here is kind of another, you could call it an inn, or I think when we talked to him before about it, he was kind of saying more like a merchant's guild, or, where merchants will come in when they come to town. This is where they stay. So, they've got, some sleeping areas and stuff like that, maybe like a common area there for them. Going down further, they've got, there's another area. This is probably the one for the guy who actually owns and runs the place on the first floor. But there's some common areas, eating, dining, hanging out. Okay. And then it's got this really nice kind of outdoor, campfire area for maybe cooking out and hanging out, and it's all fenced in nicely. So it's just nice little, it's got its own nice landscaping. So it's its own area, and I think he was going for kind of like a merchant guild or tavern or inn feel. So that could be the the Scarlet Martin. This one over here is like a fighters guild, and we were talking merchant guild inn. There we go. Thank you, Cedric. This one is like a fighters guild. Where they have lots of D&D games to simulate war games. So because of the D&D table. So, but you can see here, it's fairly simple. It's like they got this main guild hall where they can all hang out, and then maybe for official meetings you've got the head people in charge sit there. Some storage of very important guild documents behind a door, and maybe some less important ones here. But
Player's Handbook.
Yeah, Player's Handbook, gotta go there. Actually, they keep the monster manual back there because that's proprietary information from the guild. No one else should know how to kill monsters.
Yep, that makes sense.
What? How did you know the monster's weaknesses? You stole the book. No. And then here we have this little home with, again, suspiciously large pile of treasure just randomly here. But no, this is this is like a little one room house slash possibly like the quest giver, for the Fighters Guild or the Adventurers Guild, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he's the one who's in charge of maintaining all this stuff, and he also hands out, hey, we need some people to go and deal with stuff. Okay. Then there's this another small home here, 1 bedroom home, 1 room home, just fairly simple. And this could be, possibly instead of this room being the guild leader for the Merchants Guild, this could be his home, and this is just yet another bedroom. Who knows? Really, it's really kind of up to Cedric. He's the one who built it. But if you copy the map and use it for your own, then it's up to you and what you make of it. He also put this nice kind of outdoor area here, which included the upgraded well design, which is really cool.
Whatever I make, it just like shit.
Yeah. He also was the first one to come up with the open air market stall idea. He did that here, and then across the street there are some. Actually, these were the first ones he did. Across the street here a little ways. But he was the first one to come up with that concept. So that's this zone. Alright, so we got one more row of stuff on this quadrant, and then 1 quadrant left after that, and then it'll be time to look at the sewers, and then it'll be reveal time for what the new map's going to be. So, here, this is another Cedric construction. He made this beautiful community garden that has a Lady of the Wood that guards it and takes care of it, kind of like a nymph or whatever it is. What's the
Dryad?
Dryad, that's the one I'm thinking of. There we go. A dryad. It protects everything. And then these houses here. Okay? So these houses here, again, this is general housing. So as we look at this general housing, let's move this up and so I can zoom in properly. There we go. So we got our upper floor here of the largest one. And you see there are
this is the inn.
Yeah, this is the inn. So this is the Scarlet Martin. So this was the inn. So here we go. As the inn, we go down. It's got lots of bedrooms for use for patrons to be there. Lots of a nice large communal one, more of a hostel kind of setup for some people who prefer that or don't have as much money to get a private room. And then going down to the main, bar and tavern area, and then like the owner's residence is just a small room right there. Moving over to this one, their upper floor, they've got a nice big bedroom up there, and kind of like an entire house is that upper floor. It's like kitchen, dining, bedroom, all kind of in one on the upper floor, and then the lower floor looks to be a business. This looks to be like a very nice shop. Probably, you've got maybe a general store kind of thing, because it looks like they've got lots of variety of stuff. Okay. Over here, as we look, we've got another 2 homes here that are just sharing this one building, sharing a common wall, but just 1-room homes. Here we've got a first floor living area, and then a bedroom area on the upper floor, and then we've got another, small home here. Again, using that open, no door concept, but separated out. How long does a map this size take to load? Yes.
No, a good minute.
Yeah, a good minute or so. It's quite all-encompassing. But that's those. Now, I don't know if there are any secrets. I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut away
don't
down to
see
the
any.
sewer. Not really seeing any secret connections to the sewers or anything on either of those. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to assume that I'm not missing anything. If Cedric, if you're still in chat and I did, please let me know. Alright, this one should be pretty quick as well. This was a build of mine. As you can see right there, there's got a guy. This is the tannery, where they've actually got these big vats of boiling nastiness. You only made the one secret relay. Okay, thank you for letting us know, Senator. So they've got these big vats of boiling nastiness. Part of tannering is dealing with that stuff, and so there it is. They gotta deal with it. But what we've really got is there are 4 tanners. That this kind of, it's almost like a tanning district. Everyone kind of said, "You guys go over there." so they went over by the more low end stables. That's kind of where they were relegated because they're already getting, stables aren't necessarily the most pleasant of smells. So the tannery was just kind of relegated to be over there too. So these are like all different tanners. On their upper floors, you can see they've got, this is the richest tanner in town. He's got a really big bed. He went all out. But this is kind of his living space up here. Same up here. This guy's got his. This guy's got his. This one really doesn't even have an upper floor. His living space is back here. But all of them, they have kind of a shop area in the main floor. And then they all share this large open area in the middle, the vats, the tanning racks and things like that. They share all that stuff so that they can do their business. All right. The last one in this quadrant is right here. It is a simple set of stables. They've got a registration desk because even with the basic stables, you're going to want to they're going to want to make sure they know whose horse is whose and keep track of when it came and who's paid for what, that kind of stuff. So they got to have.
They're expensive, so money talks.
Yeah, so they got to have an office, an OSIF. They got to have an OSIF. But then they've got. Cut away just a hair more. There we go. Then they've got these double doors here and here, where people can let their horses into here, and they each get their stalls. Got plenty of hay and the obligatory Klein wheel of cheese.
Always one. Exactly one.
Exactly one. Yes. For those of you who don't know, I was scolded abruptly when I was helping him on something. I think it was on the market or maybe something else. And I said, I think I'll put a wheel of cheese here. No! So that's that quadrant. So, all right, 3 quadrants out of the way, 1 to go. All right, this is another Cedric-built quadrant. This is apartments. So these are kind of the lower middle class, upper lower class kind of arrangement because you've got all these, a lot of large buildings cramped into one area and divided into small homes, basically. Excuse me. Small apartments. Because you look here, like right here, they've got these walkways here that lead around the structures, going to doors for these structures here. So this right here, this is all just one. So it's like a 1-bedroom home, but it's really more like an apartment due to the way everything's set up. Okay, same with up here. You got one up here, one here, this one coming off here, a little bigger. Got steps up to this one up here. Okay, and then we can also see in the upper level of this one actually has stairs that come up to this level. Now when we cut away a little bit further, this is a very long, skinny one. It's still bigger than a lot of the others, but it being 2-story, but it's not very big overall. And the rest, you've got basically 1-room homes, all the way around. These are all little apartment homes, filling up this space. And I just love how he kind of made it like the walkways and what he did with the Tavern wood set stuff to make these little pathways, like elevated pathways for people to get into their apartments. All right. That's that one. Next we have Melrose. No secrets. Yeah. Next we have, this was done by Melrose. Melrose, bruh. This is one of the slums. Okay. So even less fortunate are the people that live here. As you can see in these slums, they are very small individual structures. Again, there's some pathways that have been kind of haphazardly constructed, mainly just planks of wood thrown across. And there's really no stuff inside, no furniture, no property, because they don't have much of any. And it is obviously built on some of the rundown stone buildings that have been broken apart. People have, kind of patched together what they could to make some of the slum area here. Okay. Now, that's not the only slums. We've got three more slums areas. This one here. This one is another Klein-built slum. And you notice he has got tents. When we finally got real tents, he put those in. But before that, making tents out of using roofing structures from the Tavern set. He's got like broken barrels and stuff around here. And then once again, you end up with these small rooms. These ones actually a little better off because they actually, managed to get some beds in there. And I think this was the very first build you did, wasn't it, Klein?
I believe it was.
Yep.
Modified several times, but
yes.
It was the very first.
It was the very first. Yeah, like these ladders were not here before because we didn't have those at the time.
Fix them.
Yep. But, still it's, they're very small rooms. They're basically just a bunch of beds. Some of them even obviously set up to be like bunk beds because you got like a bed stacked on a bed. So, I mean, it's just not a lot of space. People crammed in there tightly. And that's slums. And this one has a secret. Underneath here, underneath that bed, there is a hatch. And if you open that hatch and go down, there is a ladder leading down into another little kind of underground secret room right here. No entry to the sewers that I can see, but it is still, it's an underground secret room. So that is that one.
And there's an implication with it too.
Oh yes, what's the implication?
But you see dead bones,
yeah.
You see a wheel of cheese.
Ratman. Where rat?
Sure.
That's my thought. Where
I mean,
rat?
they're both food under the right circumstances.
Yeah, where rat?
Yep. Pellet.
That's what I'm thinking. So now, this is another slums area. This one was built by Denell. And let's see if I can get it. There you go. See? Denell. I think this is the first structure that we are looking at for Denell's, isn't it?
No, this is the last structure.
No, I mean the first one that we're looking at.
No, the museum and the library.
Never mind. Museum and library. Those are yours as well. So here is another slums area. As you can see, again, using the tents, the lean-tos. Also using, this was after the harbor set came out, so it looks like he used some of the harbor pieces to create another type of tent structure, one that actually you could put beds under, so I really like that. And then he also has this old tree that I really like what he did with the roots here, showing roots growing through the stone of this portion of the structure. But I mean, it's a very rundown community. It's like you're kind of going levels. It's like the one that Klein built. These are like the well-to-do homeless people, because they've actually got beds. The one that Melrose built, these are the ones that they don't have the money for beds. Then you come over here, and you got these ones, and they're like, shit. We don't even got nothing but tents. That's it. Really, I mean, we don't got much else. We got some tents and just whatever shelter we could actually find. from a structure. We haven't been able to actually afford to pay for anything. Okay, so these are like almost like true homeless people. Okay, as are the ones in this one next to them. I know I'm not going back to the right away, but that's just because I might as well get all the slums done. So right here, this is the one I built. This was like an old abandoned warehouse or business, and as you can see, it was just falling apart. Roofs, sections collapsed in and everything. And as we get here, as you break away this top layer, there's just, people randomly where they can find spots and if they're willing to risk it, because the structure isn't very stable, they will, kind of set up camp, both on that second floor and on this first floor here. And it's really just kind of like a place where a lot of homeless people go. And then the thing is, hiding that, because the people on the other side of the street who are more middle class don't like to see that. Neither do the ones here, which we'll get to those in just a little bit. So hiding that have been some trees that were planted, as well as fencing, and a beautiful memorial garden that is memorializing a hero. And in fact, it is, I'm going to say it's canon. This is the hero whose house over here was turned into a museum. That's the city hero. All right, so that is what I built there. And so now we're going to go back to going across. Okay, so we got all the slums done. Yes. Oh, is there a secret I missed?
This one might be a better one.
Which one?
The roof fence.
Oh, go to those first?
You can go here, the cookie cutters, this one, and then end up the church.
That sounds good. All right, so what we did here is all of this in here is Klein with a couple ideas thrown out by Danelle, specifically this rooftop garden. And then I had finished my build, and Klein, wanted a little help to finish up sooner. So I put.
We both finished at the same time because it was easy ones, and I said, "Hey, do you want to?"
No, that's what it was.
Build this one together.
You said we'll build it together. I was going to say that you asked, "Hey, you want to take that on too?" I couldn't remember, but hey, either way, we worked on it together. I took this little area. He took this area. And I decided to make 3 quick little shops. These are kind of, enclosed shops, but these are more of like the middle class stuff that, either they're going to the main open air market or they're coming to, these shops, which are a little bit nicer than the open air market. And, they're more specialized in what they have. Because right here what we have is, this is a bakery, pastry shop, stuff like that. So they're cooking all sorts of pies. Pies and breads and muffins. Yep. And, oh yes, this right here is Drury Lane. Just so you know, that was decided.
That was canon.
That is canon. Over here...
I am disappointed, though, that the bakery doesn't have your cake.
Oh, that I...
That's only for special occasions.
Yeah.
No, it's not. He puts it everywhere.
Well, I may have to add it in a little bit later then. But here we have like a general store. I just put in lots of random general items and things. And then over here would be like a clothier's, but like for, this is a clothing store at the mall. This is not like the one that Klein built that's like the high-end tailor shop. This is more like, Gap.
7-9.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to fix something. Really bad. It's annoying me. This roof section is the section lower.
Oh, did it? Oh, what the hell happened there? Yeah, please fix that. Go right ahead.
Because we need to fix it on the other map.
Yeah, just fix it on the other map. Don't worry about this one. Alright, so now moving on to these houses here. Okay, Klein. This one, Adventurer's House? Okay, yep. So let's start over here then. So with these right here, we can see I've got this 2-story structure. And the upper floor here, I've got a nice big bedroom here, stairs leading up to it. And then on the first floor, got another bedroom, got a bathroom area with the toilet design that Klein came up with. And then just kind of a nice open area in a kitchen, little dining table, stairs going up. Over here, we have another kind of long home. Again, bathroom, storage area, kitchen and dining, long hallway going to the second floor. That leads up to a bedroom on the second floor that has a way out to a garden on the roof. And then this one here. This one here. So, the town council, recognizing the skill and ability of the adventuring party, and the fact that they have thus far proved themselves extremely helpful to the town, have given them a residence with which they can call their own. And this is it. So we have this nice big entryway, again, large room, kind of dining area, that's the stove, bathroom area here. Notice, other than like the basics, it's not furnished, because the idea that was had here is, hey, we'll let them furnish it themselves. We'll see what the players want to do. And then, if you're running the game, you can get ideas from your players. Who wants what bedroom? What do you want your room to look like? And, kind of build it around that. So, like, both of these here could be bedrooms, or it could be something else. You go up the stairs, and you've got 3 more rooms. These ones are for the most part, they're kind of trying to be bedrooms. So what you really could have is like if you made both these bedrooms and all 3 of these were bedrooms, now you got 5 bedrooms available for the party. Okay. So you got a party of 5 or less, they each get their own room. If you don't, maybe you got some that are willing to share a room, who knows, But there you go, that's the
secrets
party
on this
house.
one: do go lower than the ground. Do not go lower than the ground.
Do not go. I did not go lower than the ground. Right there.
You'll see why later.
You'll see right there is the ground. I did not go lower than the ground. But I will be going lower than the ground when I go through the sewers.
It'll spoil something if we do it now.
Yeah, and that's fine. Alright, over here. Now we have, Klein also did this section. This is another general housing section. But these are like I guess you call it like the tract homes. Yeah, these are like tract homes. They're
prefabs.
Yeah, they're prefabs. They are basically cookie cutter to the max. He built one, and if you look, built one, he changed around like some of the beds and stuff like that, and what's on the interior, but it's just a square, copy and paste, put it around, put a nice little kind of park area in the middle, because at the least you can do for people that all they can do is afford a house like this is at least give them a nice little outdoor space. So that's what they have. Any secrets under this one I should know of and show, or just avoid?
I don't think so. My thought was they weren't rich enough to have secrets.
All right. Okay.
And honestly, it was the basis for secrets.
Yep. So
they are rich enough to have a wheel of cheese, though.
They do. They have to.
At least one.
One and only one, right?
Yep.
So here, this is the cemetery, and is this Klein? You build this one again, or is this Cedric?
I built the cemetery, yeah.
You built the cemetery, and then Klein built the homes, right? Or did you do?
Because it used to be that the houses were going to be this section, and we had that strip of land out front.
Oh yeah.
With Denal, we said, you know what? Let's hide the cemetery and put the homes out here.
Oh, speaking of which, one thing I didn't look at. We kind of talked about them and showed them briefly earlier, but right out in front of the apartment buildings here on this main strip, across from the community gardens, you've got some of those market stalls there. Then, they continue up, some of them along here, and then you got the actual market. So it's kind of a nice main entry to the town. But here, one thing I really like with this next one, with these houses, is the way the fence is around there, and how it kind of made like lamp posts around it, on the edges. I think that's pretty cool. Also notice that the wall at the back between the cemetery and the houses is considerably larger. And looks like all the trees over here are dead, whereas all the rest of them over in the rest of this are thriving. Something going on there, Klein?
I mean, get there eventually.
So here, these, again, just simple houses. You know, got on the upper floors here, got a couple bedrooms, a nice big one here, 2 bedrooms here. As we move it down a little further to the first floor, we got our main living facilities, living area. Any secrets in this one? I don't think so. So,
No.
all right. So that is that, and now we move on to the church. And
Big boy.
this is a big boy. I mean, he's taking up a shit ton of space. He's huge. Okay.
And this is smaller than the original design because I had to fit it into the space given.
Yeah. Yeah, this, Danelle originally designed this on his copy of Talespire, and then, he plotted it out and figured out what he wanted to do. And then when we got in here and realized, oh shit, he had to change things up and build it differently.
Well, it's
But
4x4 foam blocks. How big was the first one?
yeah,
Well, the first one had not only the entranceway and the things that led up to the back end, but the entire back end. It also had the choir. It also had the tabernacle. It also had. I mean, it had.
you had the big nave, and then see, I'm remembering. I'm
Yeah,
learning.
and the big nave in the front, that's pretty much the same. And then
Oh
when I just got rid of the choir and the tabernacle all together and just put in the worship area.
Nice. Okay. So wow. So I would love to see the full thing sometime. But anyway, here is the church, and I'm gonna have to go up here like this. You can see otherwise it cuts off the very top, but this is the church itself, and then the rest of the church grounds and what's on them. And as we look at this church, I'm going to zoom in here, come down a little bit, and then start cutting away. And as I start cutting away, up here at the top, this is the bell tower. You can see all the bells here, which those bell designs was a collaboration between Klein and Danelle, going kind of back and forth, coming up with different things, and they finally came up with these bell designs, and they're fucking cool. I love them. So for not having actual bells in Talespire right now to choose from, that definitely works for it. At least in my opinion. And right now, I'm the one talking, so my opinion's what counts. Damn it.
Solid logic.
Yeah. So then this is the tower, leading up to the bell tower. You got these stairs going, you kind of switch back and forth, going all the way down to ground level. Okay. And then once you're at ground level, you can see we've got these, ginormous, and if I strip away, you can see we've got these ginormous double doors here leading into the main entry. There's actually 2 sets of double doors leading into the main entry of the church. You've got, as you enter the nave, you've got this really cool fountain set up, kind of a sacred-looking structure, place for people to, embrace the sound of the rushing water going through the fountain and have inner peace and all that shit. So,
By the light of Palor. By the light of Palor.
By the light of Palor. That's what you see, Cal. But also a lot of statues in here. They also have several sarcophagi in here, and statuary columns through here. And I mentioned it when we did the first run through of showing this, but I will again. Using street lights clipping them into columns to get this kind of look of lanterns like hanging on the columns. Really like that. So we did that. Then we've got out the side here and the side here, another set of double doors, either side there of the church, so that people can, enter or exit that way if they wish, or enter or exit this way, which this leads out to other parts of the church grounds and some other stuff we'll look at in a second. Then you got the main kind of the worship area where all the parishioners would be seated in the pews, and your main altar up here. And then I'm not going to go down this just yet, but ooh, there's a stairwell going down here. Okay. So, we're not going to give up that secret just yet. The rest of it, like if I zoom out and everything, it's the structure of it, which is gorgeous. Okay, but it doesn't have, areas to really look at. Here, as they go through the double door here, you end up in kind of a peaceful meditation garden right here, where we can see, some fruits and baskets of fruits and, pumpkins and things like that, and a very nice tree are growing. So people can come out here and meditate and, center themselves. You also have, these are it's covered, the walkway areas, so that people don't have to deal with the elements. But you also have, actually going this way first, there are some restrooms, and this was Danelle's concept for a restroom. Kind of little privies here. And then a large kitchen and dining area. This is kind of the, this is where the church has their potlucks. They got to cook up a bunch of food for everyone, and everything. And then, maybe they, they might serve it here, or they might, bring it out to homeless people and stuff and all that. But that's their kitchen area. Then you have this building here. This is where the monks that run the church, or clerics, whatever you want to call them in your world, this is where they do their studies and work, scribing things, all that kind of stuff. And then they have their simple communal sleeping area on the second floor of that building. And that's it for that. Now, the secret. This set of stairs that leads down right here. As we follow this down, holy crap, what is going on here? I gotta go down just a hair more, get rid of those. We have, it looks like jail cells, almost like a dungeon. And torture instruments, various types. And then, well,
kind of something to do with the heretics.
Exactly. and then a sacrificial altar and worship chamber. And
also.
And yeah, it's secret behind that wardrobe. Or that bookshelf. There's also another secret. This door here goes...
That's my own version of my teleportation circle.
What? The,
in the corner where next to the altar.
Oh, this right here. Yep. Okay. So that's a teleportation. Very cool. Like
so that
a
way if they
small
get
one.
in trouble, he's just like... Phoomp.
Yep. He also has a way to go here and actually get into the sewers here. Because if we look, we can start to see, like down here, here's the sewers. And if we take a close look by cutting away just a little bit more stuff, what we can see is that as it goes into here in the sewers, he's actually separated so you can't cross between the sewers here, because there's a secret pathway that comes down into, looks like some kind of secret crypt. I wonder if you'll need garlic for this one, as there's a vampire that lives underneath the city, and it just so happens, it seems like he might have something to do with the church. Otherwise, why would he have a back door? That just wouldn't make sense to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so now that is that is almost everything. That is the zones.
No, we're missing two things we didn't discuss.
Okay, the streets overall.
No, first one's underneath the slums.
Oh, we're gonna get to looking at the whole sewers and everything that's under there too that we have.
Oh, okay.
So, but first, just a quick look at the streets. Kind of the streets, central square. We got a nice fountain there, and then we've got these like drainage grates in the streets leading out along the edges. Okay, and we just got basically a big four-way intersection, and then there are some like smaller side streets and stuff that cut between areas. but that's kind of about it there. I wanted to point that out. But now let's start up here again, like we started before in the northwest corner. But now we are going to zoom in. All right, and let's see. What's the best angle? I should probably come down just a little bit. So, because of the way Talespire, angles things and cuts off, this is about the best angle we're going to be able to get to see the sewers. Excuse me. We're not going to be able to go up like at a high enough position or angle to cut away and see all the sewers. It just doesn't exist. And that's, that would be something I would love. I don't know if it's been suggested, but I would love for the developers to be able to do something where you could like set the grid height at a certain level and then say hide everything above this, or so that you could just hide everything above automatically and see everything below without having to worry about it. And actually, you know what? I may have a way to do that myself using the hide function. Let's see if I can do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the grid real quick. I'm going to zoom down. You'll pardon me. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do, Cedric, is I am putting a really big hide volume. I just want to make sure I get the right height. So, let's see. I want to go right about there. That height should do it. So, I'm going to... There we go.
I can get you the right height. Easy.
Well, I already got that wrong thing. I want this, and then now you zoom out because I'm going to need you zoomed out. And here we go. Thing is, I don't know. Yep, I've reached the extent of the hide volumes size. Okay, so there's one hide volume. And actually, you know what? What if I do it this way as well? Well, anyway, this with here, if I go like this, and out of that, nope, out. I want it hidden. Oh, well, I'll have to go player. There. If I switch to player, then you can see the sewers underneath like this. Klein, actually, if you'll go on the northeast quadrant, or if you'll go on the other quadrants, I'll grab this northeast quadrant real quick, and start hide voluming everything except the sewers below.
On it.
Then, because I'll grab this quadrant, as much of it as I can. And then what I'm going to do is, if you'll continue that, and I will switch to player mode, so that everything is completely hidden that I want to actually be hidden, without any interference. There we go. Now, tab, dunk, dunk, and...
Hiding it for you or not? Did you do that one?
Yeah, I'm going to hide this one. Once I get it. Let's see, did I get everything that I could there? It looks like it. I don't think it'll let me stretch it out any further. Doesn't look like it will. So, that's as big as that one is. So, yep. If you want to continue on in that vein now, as I switch to player, so that we can see the stuff underneath. Alright, so... over here, we mentioned this right here. This was the getaway that the cart business guy had. So that went into his private vault here, and then his escape right here. But that also connects to the sewer here. And then that sewer runs all the way along this way until we get involved there. And then my cutaway is showing some of that. So we get involved in this line here, which comes all the way into a main thing under our main street here. Additionally, connected to that same run of sewer, I've got this passageway leading right into here, which is the black market. So here you have, some people kind of, set up shop, even living out of tents and stuff, but set up shop to sell black market items and things from underground. So that's the black market for you, folks. Now, that continues. Like I said, we've got this main branch. In fact, the main branches, if you look at them, basically are right under our main streets. We've got main streets like this. Yep. Like that. It branches off going down those other two main streets, going off down here, more and more and more, all the way down. Okay, and then there's branches that lead off of them. And what I kind of wanted to do is each section, because I built the sewers initially, and then other people did stuff based off the sewers and connecting into the sewers and stuff like that. But what I wanted to do with them is because we've got if you kind of look at our sections, we've got in each quadrant, it's kind of like a 3x3, okay, setup. There was 3 zones, or 3x3 zones in each quadrant. So I wanted to make sure that going through each one of these zones, it had at least one kind of branch of the sewers in order to provide, sewer services to anyone who was there. Or to anyone who, had business or homes or whatever, all the stuff in that zone. Okay, so that's our main branch here. Like I said, that we connected up to from over in the northeast quadrant, and right here next to our black market. It also has a branch this way with like a grating blocking it off, going this direction, okay, which leads over here to, oh look, there's that noble house with the 50 Shades of Torture room that had a secret entrance leading into the dungeon. There is also this is the basement servants area of the noble house that Klein built, but it doesn't actually connect to the sewers just butt up against it. Okay. Then it comes down this way, and here's the haunted noble structure that Cedric built, and its connection to the sewers here. And then we had, under here's the maximum security jail cell underground. We've got right here, coming from our Thieves Guild, underneath the City Hall, their escape route connecting to the sewers. Sewers come down further this way. Here's that main branch that comes to the right here from the center. And that's coming this way, and it's connecting into several things. We've got underneath the arena, that's where it connects into the fighter bedrooms that are underneath. Down this branch here, this is that secret from this house here underneath the bed that Cedric built. Coming this way here, we've got the zone that Klein built right here, and it's got these 4 basements, only one of which is connected via a secret door to the sewer. Okay. When we continue down this branch, it comes here into this one, and this is where it just meets up here. And this just goes up and along this way and stops right here until it's got a potential for, there's a ladder there, but it doesn't actually connect to, it's just something that could connect if someone wanted to. Okay. It's got a branch going that way, and it's also got this branch that continues on this way. So let's go with this one here. So, alright, so it meets up with this branch, which crosses in with this same one. Comes here, and there's really nothing underneath these. There's lots of space in this. Oh, see, now you're getting a lot more of it cleared out for me. This is awesome. There's
as fast as I can.
Yep, so underneath here, there's not a lot of stuff under here. It's just the sewer itself. Okay, same over here. But then here's where it comes back into the main branch. And the nice thing about that is if once we get this map all chopped up and put on Tails Bazaar and Tails Tavern, so that you guys can take the sections of it and put it in your own maps and slap them together. Areas like that, there's so many things that you guys can do on your own. Oop, there we go. And, if you want to add more stuff onto the sewers, or just basements even, you got the room for it. Okay? So we've got that under there. Let's finish up this northeast section up here. Because we had this branch up here from the black market, but there was also this branch here. And if we come across this one, looks like you must have gotten the walls when you hit that as well. Yeah.
Possible.
Yep. You got all the walls in that. But these were just sewer. It was just sewer passageways. There was nothing built under that section. Okay. However, over here, as we go, okay, because we've basically gotten almost all the sections now. Because over here, northeast section, but this northeast section, we've got something right there. We already saw that. That's the Corsican Companies. There it is. It's in the southeast section, or southwest section. I can't do directions today. Okay, but here's that under the church and the vampires little crypt. Here's basically just a dead end sewer tail, tail of the sewer pipe. The slums don't have the sewers underneath them. Okay, if you'll notice that. I am missing something. I think you did accidentally hide it. I think it must have been hidden. Yep, there it is. It got hidden. So, I'm going to...
I'm just trying to go fast here.
Yeah, that's alright.
I'm 95% accurate, you can cover the other 5.
There we go. Yeah, I've got the rest now because it's only just this one section that didn't have anything else left. So, alright, out of there. And out of there. Now zoom in. Okay. So under here we saw the little basement area for the were rat that Klein did. His little were rat basement. Well, I also have a giant gelatinous mass in here in a kind of an old waterworks area that had some piping and stuff like that has been broken down, and it's back in there, and it has been just dissolving people and shit and everything for a long time, such that it's actually got treasure that is left over from that didn't dissolve because it wasn't affected by its acid, although all the organics were. So that's that guy under there. Other than that, I think that's it for the sewers. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. So there you have it. Now with a shit ton of it hidden, there's the city. Looks a lot different with all this stuff hidden. That's for damn sure. But that's just the because we've hidden a whole bunch of stuff to look in. Did it show the barracks at the front gate? Yep. Oh wait, we didn't actually zoom in on those. We didn't. You are correct. Thank you, Cedric. We didn't actually zoom in on the barracks themselves. So let me toggle some visibilities here until we get the right ones.
I'm just deleting them.
Okay, that'll work too.
The game will run faster.
Yeah. Alright, there we go. So, you are right. Thank you, Cedric, for reminding me, since I was kind of getting ready to close up the show and tell section here. But, yeah, we did not actually look at the barracks that are by the gates. These are all, by each of the quote-unquote main gates, the north, south, east, and west gate. But here we've got, on top, you can see that we got, weapon racks ready. They've got stairs leading right onto the walls, just like how Klein had that drawbridge to the main barracks and jail. All of these are built right up against the wall and have easy access to the wall, so that if there is an offensive against the city, their guards and their defenses can get out there and be ready on the wall to shoot arrows, call out what's happening with the enemy, anything they need to. It's a good design, good setup. So then we go down to these little barrack structures. Basically, you just got 4 beds in here, You've got some. Let's zoom in a little bit more and see. Looks like you got some weapon racks and stuff in there. Stands for their armor, storage lockers at the foot of the bed for their stuff. So when someone's on duty here or stationed here, they've got a bed to sleep. They've got can have a place for their stuff on either side. And then if all hell breaks loose and they have released the dogs of war against the city, they can quickly run up and man the wall. All right, so I think that is it for the city show and tell. Did we ever
I can't even move in the city now. It just it's shoving me further away as I try to get closer. I'm not even making that up.
Really?
I'm just gonna go to the next map. I'll figure this out later.
Yeah, but here we go. I'm unhiding everything. But anyway.
You unhiding or are you just deleting?
I'm deleting.
Oh, okay. That's why Talespire just said crash.
Oh, it crashed on you. Okay.
Crash, not hard crash, but still.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so there is the city build. Did we ever decide on a name?
The Crossroads?
I like it. That's what it'll be.
Attack.
The Crossroads. So, everyone, that is it for the Crossroads City collaborative build. That's the show and tell. Now, we have one last thing to show you before the stream is over, because just because this one is done does not mean that the collaborative build streaming is done. There is going to be more. We had a poll to see what thing would win out: a dungeon, a fort that's kind of in a mountain, or a wizard's demi-plane. And the winner is...
Roll, please.
Wait for it to load as it's loading, because guess what? It is also massive.
Baz.
And I'm going to come from the other side here, zoom. It is the fort that is on/in a mountain. So as you can see here, this thing is freaking huge as well.
Nowhere near as big.
Nowhere near as big as well, it's nowhere near as big as the city. But
it's about the same size because it's twice as deep.
The levels of it. Yeah. It's probably going to have the same amount of build zones because of the...
I don't think so.
No?
I think it's going to have a little bit less.
Yeah, it'll have less.
Even so, it'll be interesting. But this is what we will be working on next. It's a fort that's in and on a mountain. So we're going to have, you can see the roads have already been placed some. We may make some changes a little bit to this before next week, before we start in on it. But, you never know. Hell, we made changes, midstream to the Crossroads, to the city now called the Crossroads.
I'm going to start going down.
Yep. Well, first I want to show the back with the harbor. So, back here, so you see you kind of got this cliff face and everything out to the beginnings of a harbor. And this is the whole thing with it, is like this outer wall area going around. My thought is that is going to be a build zone. That is going to be one of the zones. It is going to be, hey, don't remove any of these walls here, and don't clip through them into stuff too much, if at all. But we want to see some really interesting cliff-looking rock designs. You can see here some of this is kind of uniform a little bit because Klein was really working hard to try to speed build some of this stuff and get us ready. What I would really like to see is someone, take some time, grab some, maybe the cliff stuff, maybe grab a cliff face here, and let's just do this real quick just to show what I'm talking about. But grab a cliff face and say, you know what? If I rotate that one, and then I clip it like that on there, and then I rotate it again, and I put it over like this, and then maybe if I actually put one back in here, so it kind of merges them, and one over here, like that, and then just kind of plays around with it, maybe even grabs these other rocks, and kind of plays with their height and stuff, so like they're maybe poking through some, or sitting in certain spots so that you get the different textures, and then comes up with a really cool cliff face stuff. That I would love to see that kind of stuff. Be creative, but I think that's going to be one of the build zones. Obviously, we're going to make build zones, kind of inside of roads are going to be used to outline some of the build zones. So we can say like, okay, this section is a build zone, build, what you want, and we're probably going to label them as best we can, kind of like what was done in the previous one where we had like, Gen House or Noble House, Slums, Marquette, labels just so people get an idea of what kind of stuff is going where. So now we're going to cut away some actually, just so we can see, because there's more to this than the singular level that we're looking at the top. And actually spin around this way. Alright, so as we are cutting through, and get down a little closer. Okay, we can see in this, there's a lower section here underneath. Got these kind of switchback stair setup. And actually I can go a little higher on these. There we go. This kind of switchback stair setup that leads up to this level up here. And hold on. There we go. I was wondering why that wasn't looking right. There we go. So that leads up there. But then all this down here is open. And we're going to, have to section this off into zones for people to build different things. Okay. But all that down there is open. And that all leads to, this area down to this harbor. Now, this is the beginnings of a harbor. I would also like to see this as a build zone where someone has a lot of fun with it. They can even they can even take down the docks if they don't like them. But I'd say like leave this connection point here with the stone. But other than that, I'd love to see a really cool looking harbor with ships too, if you can do it.
I mean, there's 4 spots for ships, and actually what I kind of envisioned was... I think I'm crashing.
You think you're crashing again?
Each of those 4 spots for ships could be another build in itself.
Well, hey, there you go. Yeah, it could be its own zone. Each ship zone. So there you go. Something like that. Well, Clyde and I will, discuss it and make a decision, and then on the next build stream when we start getting into this, that's when we'll let you know, okay, what zones are what, and what we're doing with that, and what we're doing with that zone in particular, and how we're splitting up the harbor section. Okay. Now this zone here that comes from the harbor into the back, that leads up this way onto this level. And you notice this switchback stairs is nice and wide and big, so they can actually, take lots of goods and things that they need from ships and bring them up this way, or bring things from the upper levels down to the ships. And then they've got, big double doors here, and then there's all these large, giant double doors, reinforced doors that are built into either the natural rock cavern walls or some man-made stone walls that the creators of the fort have, put in to shore things up. And then they have a rail system, looks like for, quick transport of stuff from in here to out here.
So just rock removal here.
Rock removal, I guess. Okay, perfect.
Because, they're expanding the base out.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
If you noticed or not, the stairs over here between the doorway is very tiny.
Yes.
Stairs to this doorway is massive.
Aha, yes, you are
It's not
correct.
symmetrical intentionally.
So, and it's also natural stone as opposed to the work stone here. So it hasn't been
They're
finished.
slowly building out this way, at least in my head canon.
Yeah, and I like it. I like it. And then you got these nice grand stairway entrances that lead from this level of the fort here to that upper level here. And then one other thing, there is kind of this dropped, almost like a gigantic pit level.
It's not really a level. That one's
Yeah.
going to be a build in itself. It's a
Yeah.
ravine between one side of the mountain and the other that they have to. That's going to
That
be.
is perfect.
Yeah.
That's a perfect idea. So all in here, this, just like I mentioned on like the outside, I would really love to see this as a really intricate, kind of not just a constantly repeating, simply done, but a really intricate, cliff faces of a ravine, as Danelle mentioned, and then along with that, well, you're gonna have to have a massive fucking drawbridge.
That's in the works already.
Yeah.
That's my first build.
Okay, well there we go. Looks like we already got someone claiming that. Okay, what you got?
Back over this way in the tunnel
This way.
path.
Okay, right here. Inside.
Inside, we actually
Inside,
added
okay.
something else.
Yes, we did. We have a whole backstory here.
Oh, okay. Oh, another door I see. And another set of stairs going down. So there's another area here. Very cool.
Idea what that's going to be?
That, dead body storage? Dead body storage?
Not quite.
A mine?
Yep.
Correct.
Hence the coal. So that is a mine.
Too bad there's not really any canary minis.
Yeah, no shit. That'd be funny.
Too bad there's not any. Too bad there are very, very few animal minis. Period. I
we
mean,
were thinking like
what-
mithril.
yeah, because I mean, like, what do we got here? We got, wild boars, cave bears, giant rats, giant bats, giant centipedes, giant snakes, giant spiders, horses, unburdened mules, a pack mule that's actually burdened, and a vicious wolf. That's the animals we have. There's no no like regular birds, no cats, no regular dogs. There's a lot of animals that could eventually be put in. Now that being said, I can't wait for Talespire to get into early access, and I can't wait for the developers to get the Tail Weaver thing that they're also working on done. And they call it a mine. A mine! Yes, Cedric. But I can't wait for them to get Tail Weaver done, because Tail Weaver is supposed to be our way as a community to create models, like STL file models and things like that, to have those and use Tail Weaver to import them into Talespire, so that you could, create on like a 3D modeling program or whatever, create like a miniature, and get the STL file for that. I think that's what they're using is STL files for this, but whatever the file type they need for Tailweaver, but getting that file type and like going through Tailweaver somehow, and then using that to basically put it into your Talespire game, so you could make your own minis that way. You could make your own tiles that way. And I think that's what that's for. So I'm looking forward to that. All right.
The backstory on this fort that Null and I agreed on, it's actually a mine, and the fort is there to protect the precious resource, and they just use the ships
To ship it out.
transport it. And, there's a road for travelers to come by.
Oh yeah.
That's our headcanon.
I like it. I am all for it. All right. And now I won't worry about fixing the glitching out right now. But there you go, folks. That is the is going to be the map that we start building on next week. All right. So thanks everyone for joining us. Hope to see you again next week at 5 p.m. Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our first collaborative build in Talespire on this new map, the fort/mine that is built on and in a mountain. Also, if you actually want to see Talespire used in action in a game, come check out my Wednesday night streams, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I take my players and I put them through the ringer, and we do it on Talespire.
If you have Talespire, please come join and build with us.
Yes.
Cedric.
Yes, Cedric! Alright, so thank you everyone. Hope to see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, Easter Bunny. Bark, bark.
I love that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you'd like what we do here, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Later, everyone.